And there we go. We are live, apparently.
You go now, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hi, Stuart.
Hi, Samuel.
We got 2 weeks off, two Fridays off, 1 Friday off. It's a brand new series of this. It's as if we just had a epic season finale, but already back. Can't stay away. You can't stay away. We can't stay away. Jacob Pod can't stay away.
We love you guys too much to stay away, is what we're saying.
It's so true.
And John Doe asked in the chat early on if I have any kids, and I'm like, yes. My youngest is 18, though. Technically, I have 4 kids. The youngest is 18, so do the math. And I have 4 grandkids, so I'm also a grandfather. So, ha.
Well, all from one child as well. All from one.
They're what?
All from one child. Like
yes,
all your children don't have any children, just one does. The rest are
Yes, my oldest, Selena, has 4 kids.
Who's actually older.
That's its own.
So
that's its own story.
It is. Well, 4 stories probably.
But anyway, yes,
I don't.
Hit that like button, guys. He doesn't have any kids.
Nope.
He's smart. I never wanted kids, but anyway, that's another story. That's another live discussion.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. We got some super chats to start off with. We'll get those real quick because the first one's really irrelevant.
Yep.
Eugene with 2,500 rubles, which is amazing.
Ooh, you sir.
And he says, so, before you begin, if I like Lower Decks and Orville, but dislike Discovery and abhor Picard, in your opinion, should I try to watch this show? 100% yes, so far.
Well, the answer was always going to be yes. The question is, would you enjoy it? And the answer is probably some, at least.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more of a realist than I am. I think you should just watch it and enjoy it because it was really good. So there's only 1 episode so far. So
I wouldn't say it feels more Star Trek than Picard, but it's.
I would.
Well, no, I wouldn't say. There's obviously more Star Trek in Picard. This is a bit more nice, but also it's also much further away from the Trek that we know. So it's an interesting, like they're both very, yeah. Yes.
Aussie Maderos, $2. We got phasers, baby. Torpedoes arrive on Thursday.
Aussie, we started it again. We need your next catchphrase. We have Hawaii. We have Scattered Hands. We have. Okay, we'll give you the full 10. Okay, but if one says, if you want to grab a catchphrase, start. Let us know. Put us in that conversation. We want to be part of that, man. We always love those catchphrases, and since they're constant shows, you have to keep inventing a new one each season for every. Oh my god, those messages are going to get obscene at a certain point with just a constant 9 catchphrases and thanks guys. It's like, yep.
We got some more super chats. We'll get to those in a second. 38 people here with 28 likes, guys. If you're just joining us, hit that like button. Let's get this show rolling with
nice little sci-fi, nice.
SVS Guru 2,000, 20 euros.
Ooh, amazing.
My theory is the Federation detected the ship booting up and quickly whipped up the Janeway hologram to investigate. The training program spiel is just a front. Show feels too much like Star Wars, but so far it's fine.
And some real long-range sensors if that's the case. Some real long-range sensors.
Again, we don't know where it's located. It could literally be like next door to the Alpha Quadrant. But that being said, nobody knows about the Federation except for the bad guy, the main guy. But also they were prisoners, so of course they'd be limited in their knowledge. So it's really, we still don't know where it is in the Delta Quadrant. So SVS Guru puts another €5 in. So thank you. This is amazing. I also still think the main theme sounds flaccid, even in the context of having seen the pilot. Oh, wow. It's not really punchy, I'll say that, but it's fine for what it is. And I do like the little JJ musical stings. The you get the build up, but you don't get the dun 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 dun, like the good payoff to it, and it's really sad because I love that build up and the payoff to the JJ music.
Well, if they did have that, it would just be a JJ show. Add another element to the JJ look and feel.
Yeah.
So it's so close anyway, but that might be one step too far. And yeah, the theme is I mean, I think the title sequence relies on the visuals, not the music. The music is very secondary to the visuals, which is odd because Lower Decks is very much half and half. Like, especially the end beat of the Lower Decks is very, very strong. Picard, I can't even picture the theme.
Picard's the flute theme essentially.
Which, yeah, from Inner Light, but I can't picture. I can visualize it, but I don't care about the visuals because they're just like, oh, they're arty farty. Discovery, obviously, but I had 3 years of it, so of course I've listened to it, 50 times.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to start off.
And Hezraz does say about we're going to talk about General Grievous, and obviously we want General Grievous to be here to talk about General Grievous.
He was around last night, and he said, he saw, the Star Trek version, and it was awesome.
Puny Tellarites, no. Where is he?
Puny Federation.
Yeah, well, that's better.
I know it's better because I did it.
Okay, then. Well, I'm going to go and share them.
Go share. Get the hell away from me. Sean, though, before you do, Sean throws in €2. Shame isn't available in Ireland. # shiver me timbers. Arg. I don't know why it isn't. It's just stupidity, but go share. Bye-bye. All right, guys, as you saw, Super Chats are a great way to get your comment read. We do address them all. We love you guys. We love everybody that Super Chats. We love everybody that doesn't Super Chat as well, but if you're contributing to the conversation and to the channel, we definitely want you to know that we appreciate that. So if you can Super Chat, we will definitely read them all. And thank you so much for everyone that does. 52 people here, 33 likes. Guys, hit that like button. Let's get up to at least 50 likes if you're just joining us. We want to hear your thoughts on Star Trek Prodigy. Numbers are a little light, actually. With 52, I expected more people here for this one. But it is the first episode, so that's kind of why I expected more. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe people will tune in. It is an hour before our regular start time. So, yeah. Anyway, don't forget to like the video, like I said, share the channel around, all that. Check out the links down below. There's links to the Teespring store and the TeePublic store. And right now, the TeePublic store has a 35% off sale. So all the Trekyards merchandise, if you click the link down below to the TeePublic store, all the Trekyards merchandise is 35% off. We got some really great shirts and really great cool things for you guys to enjoy. So if you can check them out and let us know what you like, what you don't like, that'd be awesome. My chair is bothering me. There we go. So yeah, check it out. See what you got. We'll see what we got. And 35% off is a fantastic deal. So if you can, please consider picking something up. That'd be awesome. Other than that, liking is important. Joining the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Obviously, if you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification icon to all, so you don't miss out on any of our content. We do a lot of breakdown videos, a lot of smaller videos, a lot of fun videos, a lot of great lives. We do a lot of great stuff here. So if you don't want to miss any of it, make sure you're notified as well. And click the links down below. There's Eagle Moss. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff down there. So check it out and enjoy what we have available for you guys, because there's a lot of cool stuff. And always the conversation, always friends here that you can talk to. All of our regulars are fantastic. So it's a great environment, a great fun place. So if you can, please do. When Sammy gets back from sharing, I will read Ozzy's latest super chat. Here he comes here now. So yeah, he's back. And Ozzy, $2. We've now General Grievous in Star Trek Prodigy. Yes, we do. Who's part Cybertronian or fully Cybertronian? We don't know yet.
The Unicron powers him well.
Yes.
I mean, he is literally a transformer.
He is, yeah.
Literally a transforming roboting Megatron. Not Megatron.
It would be cool. It would be cool to have Cybertron in the Star Trek universe. I mean, IDW did the crossover, so. SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. Regarding languages, apparently standard is English. So clearly, Diviner is connected to the Federation. But who taught Dal to speak English? His parents, probably?
Yeah.
Chances are he's been there for 5. Well, we don't know how long he's been there because he's always trying to escape. So he's not been there super long because he would have escaped before this, probably.
Well, he wouldn't have escaped, but he would try to escape.
Yeah. Well, they even make reference to the fact that he's tried a few times and failed.
But he wouldn't have, he's not smart enough to escape, let's be honest. Like, by himself. He has no actual skills. He's just adventurous. That's why he needs a team. That's how, family atmosphere, etc.
Yeah. And SVS Guru 2000 has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So welcome, Commander. Good to have you aboard.
Welcome. Our crew
Joining the channel is a big deal. It really helps out the algorithm and the channel. So if you can, check out the join button down below. See what ranks you want to join at.
Yes.
Mark Lawrence is here with $5. Thank you so much, Mark. My kids watched it and asked questions about the characters. I let them know if they watch Voyager with me, they'd understand more, and they want to. That's good. It's a gateway drug for Star Trek. Awesome. And
although they'll be disappointed there isn't as many car chases in Voyager, etc. Yeah. They're like, oh, isn't Star Trek all about... I thought Star Trek was more like Star Wars. It's like, no.
Somebody posted on Twitter, and this is somebody that works on the show, I can't remember the name now, but regarding Murph, that nobody has yet guessed. Yeah, nobody has yet guessed his origins or his species, and it's a real deep-cut Easter egg, apparently. So it has been revealed somewhere in Star Trek lore what Murph is, or they're drawing on that. So I was kind of shocked to hear that. So and there you go. If you guys have any theories, let us know.
And it's very likely the main character is also something off, something like even just this picture has a Talaxian vibe with a bit of the hair and a bit of the spots. Might be a cross between some races, which is absolutely fine. So I could see every one of the characters being Alpha Quadrant-esque, or like some variation of a theme, which is great. I mean, them being on the edge is a really nice story idea, because obviously the quadrant is just a fictitious line. So there's just people that live all throughout all the quadrants. So people just trade between the two quadrants. Although a little bit weird, and this probably, and someone said a minute ago that they obviously know about the Federation, hence taught the daughter stuff. She wouldn't call it the Delta. Like, they're not in the Delta Quadrant. We call it Delta Quadrant. Humans do. That is not the... So, obviously, that's her dad's language, which he knows in the Federation. So, he must have a long tie to them to use their vernacular. And to trade.
Did he say Delta Quadrant?
Well, she said in the edge of the Delta.
Oh.
And it's like, well, Delta Quadrant is exclusively a Federation term.
The edge of the Delta.
Yeah.
Federation Delta.
And while it's obviously them just saying, well, we need to call it the same thing as in the show, it's not called that by the Kazon. The Kazon don't know they're in the Delta Quadrant. That's not a thing. So, and even if, the guy just met Voyager and just maybe downloaded the database at one point for some reason, has that knowledge. But that definitely shows the deeper knowledge. You wouldn't have that reference without understanding. Which is what you said about the guy knowing who a Tellarite is. Well, you shouldn't necessarily know.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
The Ronin has joined the channel at the rank of Commander.
Ooh.
That's 2 memberships in the space of like a couple minutes. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome, Commander.
Makes a big difference.
And guys, if you check out hit the join button, it just shows you the prices for a monthly subscription. It's not very much a month. You can pick the Commander rank, and you're already a Commander. It's like the first rank. And
let's be honest, how many videos do you get for your donation? How many compared to other channels that you guys know that might do one monthly or one every day or 3 or 4? I think we definitely earn that, and we want to keep doing it, because the more stability we have, the more confidence we can do, and the more we can do beyond that. I mean, we've always spent quite a bit of money on those low deck style graphics that you guys know and love, and we want to use more of, and funding helps funding. Yeah.
SVS Guru puts 2000 puts in another €5. Thank you. Dal doesn't know about the Federation and doesn't even know what species he is. True. But it's implied that he speaks Standard, and he would have just always been his language by the sounds of it. So the Ronin, $5. My guess, the Protostar was built as a rescue vessel, recovery vessel for other ships lost to the Caretaker's kidnapping. Distinct possibility. I'm sure we're going to find out about the Protostar eventually. Maybe next episode, although I kind of doubt it. But yeah. And Food Worth a Wander says, to be honest, you guys give so much Star Trek content. Yes, and we pride ourselves on that. So 7 years worth. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's insanity. We're gonna get, Will have been working on Trek longer than most Trek actors at a certain point.
Yeah.
Yep. In pure years, anyway. And, let's be honest, in pure minutes of content. We've been on screen more than anyone. Oh,
there you go.
Oh, God.
We should be canon.
Well, hey, maybe. And I know someone mentioned it earlier. Destination Star Trek happening very soon. I'll be in attendance on Saturday at the very least. because I've got to meet Mulgrew and Roseanne Dawson, and everyone else there's Discovery people because Little Hill cancelled and they're not filming Discovery, so they're more free. So I get to see some of them again. Not the most exciting people, although get them while they're currently filming is a nice. They look as they do in the show roughly. So yeah, join me. If you see me in Destination London, say hey, because I absolutely want to meet and talk to anybody. I'll probably be in some form of costume, and also busy. But do say hi because it's nice to put a face to a name, etc., etc.
Absolutely. SVS Guru 2000 throws in another €5. That is awesome. Thank you. Though I guess it could have been Gwen that taught him, considering she was seen trying to teach languages to the Cetacean kid. No, I think it's his native language for sure. And yeah.
No, it's.
But that's interesting.
They don't know each other that well. That would imply like years of constant whatever.
Yeah.
Plus, she wouldn't be allowed to. Like she's busy. Yeah. She's doing the deeds of, yeah.
The Ronin throws in $2. Looking forward to 2041's Star Trek Trekyards. 2041. I mean, hey, we could still be doing this in 20 years. I see that as a distinct possibility.
Well, they keep making. Oh my god, how many play screen caps do you do? Jesus Christ.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Even when I just did the subtitles, there was a shit ton.
I really should just go through, but there's too. I can't even go through and refine them. There's too many to go through. You should really simmer down a little bit, I think, because that's you might crash Premiere fully. Like, okay, I might have to go in and delete a whole load because I think you've got too many.
Well, we'll get underway in a minute here, guys. In the meantime,
Stuart, do a poll, man. Do a poll.
Yeah, I will. In the meantime, hit that like button, guys. We have 78 people here, 51 likes. That's great, but I think we can get to 75 likes. So. Boom. There we go. There is a poll up now, so check that out. Vote on it. Want to hear your thoughts. So, yeah, keep the super chats coming, guys. They're great. We do address each one of them and give them their due diligence. So if you can and you're able to and you want to find out what we think about what you think, let us know. Captain Robert April says, any discussion on Trek Culture's theory that the Alpha Quadrant characters we've seen are the kids from the ships that the caretaker hijacked prior to Voyager? It's a distinct possibility, but it's just a theory.
Well, and also they've sort of forgotten that the whole point is the caretaker sent every ship back. That's part of the storyline. If you watch Voyager, everyone gets sent back. Equinox is obviously an exception to the rule, but I mean, yes, it could have been hundreds of years ago, but
and all it takes is one ship with a couple different species on it to not get sent back to have descendants. So,
but it have to be a Federation ship because no one else have this many alien races of whatever. I mean,
civilian ship.
It's a retcon. I mean, it's a retcon. I don't think. It makes more sense that just why wouldn't the Endor, the Tellarites, 100 years ago, try and explore the Delta Quadrant? And just send out some ships, and then they've been traveling for 40 years. They stop in the middle, like they've had spacecrafts for a long time. Maybe the Tellarites had spacecrafts in 1066 Earth time. Well, if it takes 70 years to get a Delta Voyager at their speed, they could still easily travel very far, and then they travel amongst themselves. And it's just if they're on the edge, it's just people migrate. I mean, the Klingon Katinga got all the way to the Delta Quadrant, like. No trickery, just they got there. They just travelled at warp.
Yeah,
that's it. There's no story there. I guess in hibernation pods, but yeah, they just travelled. So yeah.
Sean O'Sullivan throws in €2. Longer from TNG to now than TOS to TNG. Star Trek Forever. My brain hurts. TOS to TNG is only like 80 years, 88 years or something like that. So, Food Without a Wander has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. That's 3 channel memberships. That's the best I think we've done. Welcome, Commander.
Boom. Yeah. So, Stuart, what do you think of Lower Deck Season 1, Episode 1?
Lower Decks? What?
Stuart, what do you? What do you think of Lower Decks season 1, episode 1? Jesus. Stuart, what do you think of
review.
Star Trek? Stuart, what do you think of Star Trek Prodigy season 1, episode 1?
Loved it. Loved the fast-paced feel. Loved the animation. The all the visuals I think were fantastic. The character development was fun. We got to know everybody in the short amount of time. Everybody got a nice equal amount. It was a good setup. We got the MacGuffin. We got. It was just a fun episode or two, because it's really 2 episodes, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was something I'm going to look forward to seeing every week for sure, and I really want to watch the next one like right now. So that's always a good sign. And like I said, when it came to the end where Janeway all of a sudden appeared, I was like, oh good, we're going to learn some stuff. And then I looked at the time and it's like, oh wait a minute, it's over. It didn't feel like that much time had passed, so that's always a good sign as well. So yeah, I think it was great. Little cameos from different Alpha Quadrant aliens and some cool little nuggets in there, and just really cool tech. And I thought it was fantastic. That's the simple answer. Boom. How about you? Were you disappointed, or were you satisfied, or were you like
start with disappointed?
Ecstatic.
What? Although it's interesting, we've all done quite a lot of videos on it already, but I genuinely have different thoughts since I watched it a second time. Since I was able to we've then fully discussed it, but also rewatch it with different eyes. So the first time I watched it, yes, it's a thoroughly enjoyable episode. It is very much there is a hybrid of a kids show and a real adult show, and that you have the problems of each, because you've got to then, you can't give kids the same complicated narrative, and you can't. I mean, you could in theory, but they didn't want to. And so there are elements, big striking elements of the episode where you're just like, that doesn't work either via pace, via logic, via plot hole. All of them can be remedied by it's a kids show, move on, which you can't do for any other Trek shows. And all of them are just a bit like, I mean, you could have written that a bit better, or written something in there just to fix that. But they also try to cram so much in. And the further it goes to the episode, the more they want to skip the episode and go to the next episode. And you kind of feel that pace. After, once you find the ship, they are like, and okay, good, we're now in episode 2. And they start losing plot points, details, just to get the story to come through. So it kind of, the pace is a bit all over the place, but it almost should have been 2 full episodes, and they so that's weird. The second time I watched it, I also enjoyed it, but I was stricken with how much of a Star Wars episode it was. I was just trying to, open my eyes, see what I'm trying to experience the first time. But second time, it's like a Star Wars show. For a large proportion, it could be straight out of Star Wars. The art design, the pacing, the camera angles, the lighting, a lot of the visuals, Grievous, the Jedi robes, or the alien design. A lot of the music is very, very Star Warsy. A lot of the designs are very Star Warsy. There's robots, there's hover things. It's a ton of Star Wars, and it must be intentional because Star Wars has a truly successful cartoon base. But it can't be an accident. They've gone heavily Star Wars in this to grab people. Because, kids are used to Star Wars content since they were young. The second half is more Star Trek, but still with a ton of Star Wars influences. So it's a little bit distracting second time when you're just watching it And then you also think, well, if JJ Trek was also a Star Wars style Trek, and the design of the ship is so JJ, and the aliens feel kind of JJ, and the music's very JJ, and the action's very JJ, the only thing that's not JJ is the Voyager the thing. So I'm left wondering right at the end, were they originally tasked with making a JJ show? And then at the end, then someone down the line said, no, make it Prime now. And all they did was just change the Janeway costume, because everything else could easily be JJ and you wouldn't think anything of it. The ship, the interiors, the costume, the creatures, the robots, 100% JJ, except the Voyager Janeway uniform. So I was intrigued by I came with it 2 different ways. Still enjoyed it both times, but I reflected on the vibe a lot more the second time.
But you enjoyed it, so that's good.
Still enjoyable, yeah. It just could easily been a JJ show. I would have been interested to see the reality where it was just a JJ show. We'd have the exact same thoughts. There wouldn't be almost anything different you'd think, because it's just, there's almost nothing you would change. Really almost nothing.
Well, I am Misi, throws in $5.
Thank you.
It was nice getting a crew estimate for the Protostar.
Yes.
Yep, 20 crew at least, or
Perfect.
37 appendages.
Stuart, what do you just correct number? That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
SVS Guru 2000, €5.
Thank you.
Do you think the Protostar ever had a crew? Probably. But then again, we've also speculated that maybe it didn't. So I think maybe it's likely that they did, yes. So
I would say no. I think it was automated. That how clean it is, how just empty and very clinical it looks. I think it was automatic pilot. The experiment made it crash, made it whatever. I mean, it's clearly inside. Like it didn't land there. It phased in there via teleportation. Like its FTL drive got it in there, and therefore, that's the whole point. How do we get it out? How do we get it in? It's a mystery. So yeah, I think it was just a lost experiment. No crew.
Captain Chili Beana, $5.
Thank you.
I think when they said kids show, they just meant it's uplifting and not incredibly dark, depressing, and/or raunchy. I feel like the vibe of this. The reason they said kids show was because it's basically Nickelodeon flipped the bill for it. They're the ones paying for it. It's a Nickelodeon show. So, yeah. As Samuel said the other day, marketing it as a kids show was, I think, a misstep, because I think a lot of people are going to not even give it a chance because of that. So, Captain Robert April says no sign of dead bodies so far. Yes, so far.
Yeah, it's too, like I said, sterile. It feels right off the production line, and also totally functional. Like you would think if it was crew, there'd be a bigger story there. There'd be, apart from one shield tube. That's his only damage. Is missing one shield tube. Yeah.
Alrighty. So 68 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get up to at least 75. Olivia Julius, $2. I'm here. Almost went crazy, but I'm here.
And Squad, of course, that wasn't an estimate of the full crew. It was a minimum number of people to launch fly it. Well, we don't know the purpose of the ship, so...
It wasn't the minimum number to launch and fly it. It was the minimum number to operate it.
Yeah. I mean, you can fly it with one person, as we saw.
Because he did say how many to launch it to get it off the ground, and they managed to do that. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, a ship of this size needs only so many people. I mean, everyone else is redundant, and I mean, we've seen from some of the teaser art, there's also this big empty hangar room, and there might be a shuttle of sorts. So that if a lot of the pure internal volume has been taken up by something else, you need less and less crew, etc.
Mark Lawrence, $5. Not blinded by lens flare yet. A good sign. Oh, indeed. Yes.
And Stuart, give us the poll results.
Did you enjoy the first episode of Prodigy? 96% said yes with 71 votes. 4% said no. So somebody mentioned in the chat that I should have had the option for haven't seen it yet, which I think some of those no's might be. So
I think we wouldn't vote at that point. But
well, possibly. They would though.
But hey, that's one of our highest polls. Cool. Yeah, it's hard to... the advantage of it being more of a kids-oriented show is that it's not going to be as dark and depressing and, and as serious. Even though it did have some dark moments. So more uplifting is kind of more nice, But let's go in then. Let's start off... That's why we started earlier, guys, because obviously there's stuff to say.
Started with the Tars Lamora prison colony.
Yes. Which is interesting. It's also a mining colony, a prison colony, and also an excavation. We wonder which one came first. As in, is the whole thing a lie for the ship, or is it a... I don't know. And at what point did you realise it was an anamorphic widescreen? So movie aspect ratio.
Right away.
Yeah, I did it about 20 minutes, then I was like, wait, this is in cinema. This is a kid's show. It's in CinemaScope. Okay, cool.
No, I noticed that right away, yeah. Like that.
Because I do all my films in cinematic. Lower Decks doesn't, but Discovery and Picard do. Yeah, it was cool. It's a nice choice. Good
Tea, Nice House throws in $5.
Thank you.
Theory, Alpha Quadrant aliens only got to the deep Kazon Delta Quadrant via the Bajoran wormhole and Gamma Quadrant. Hirogen, Borg, space, too dangerous. Hey, that's another idea, people going through the wormhole. Maybe something happened that way. Sure, that's on the other side, way far away from the caretaker. So,
I mean, they don't. Well, as we know, it's almost the same distance from Earth to the Delta Quadrant and then the Gamma Quadrant. wormhole to the Delta Quadrant, so
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make the trip any quicker. It's just coming from a different route. And also, we know that the wormhole wasn't found before, but the wormhole's two-way, so if they'd got accidentally found it, they could have come back through and revealed it. So I think that's unlikely, but interesting. Interesting for sure. And one more brief thing, especially in this early set of scenes where they take the pace. Literally the first couple of shot scenes, everything's a painting. Like everything. I mean, that is the art style they've got. Somehow they've captured a painting feel in motion. It's kind of astounding, really, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I do quite like the red herring. I found my escape route, and it's just like it's a total effed up route. Like 2 minutes in, I love that. His hover thing.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's not how you escape. It's a fun stuff.
Good tea, nice house, $5.
There you go.
Oh, wait a minute. Read that one already. Never mind. Why'd that show up again? It just popped up. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Moving on. Yes. Dal is planning his escape.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees the Medusan. He sees a Zero. And then Zero kind of fades away, which is weird because it was a puff of smoke that went in front of him, but it didn't actually obscure him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So makes you kind of wonder what's going on.
And Richie says, the mind seems to only want children. Why just children? Disagree. I think they were the extremes. We just happened to meet in children. I didn't get the sense anyone else was a child. So I would disagree.
Yeah, I would disagree as well. I think that line comes from when she says, when she warns the Kazon, if you bring anyone this young again. But yeah. And
that was the whole point. That's all he could bring them was a too young child because everyone else was captured. So that was the whole point. So we don't want people that young.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get a very quick introduction to Zero, which was nice. Definitely put you on a... Oh, we thought we knew where I was going to go with this, that they were going to be friends or crew or whatever. It was a good little start. Confusing start, but it's a good start.
SVS Guru 2000, €5. They could also be the descendants of pre-Federation factions traveling into deep space on colony sleeper ships or generation. Yes, there's lots of possibilities there. So
yeah, I mean, that's easy. And then we get General Grievous.
Well, Dreadnought, yeah. Talking to Tal. Or Dal. Sorry.
Dal.
It's going to take a while to use these names. Dal. But asked him if he's seen the fugitive, in this case Zero, and doesn't cop to it. So, and he's like, if you didn't ban translators, I could ask some people if they've seen him. But And I love that there's no translators on this. It's a great idea, actually.
It was their first time, and it's like 3 minutes in. I'm like, oh, that's a genuinely smart idea.
Yeah.
And very logical. I always like a logical, smart idea. Makes things a lot easier.
Jonathan Earl throws in $5.
Thank you.
All he says is forming, which I don't understand.
Please clarify.
Yes, please clarify. Even just in the regular chat, we were interested.
It's a good introduction. Works fine.
Yeah. And this is where Zero causes an explosion. It somehow takes Dal's bracelet off, and he makes a break for it. So,
and yet doesn't affect anyone else's bracelets. No one else tries to escape.
Man, yeah.
This one thing. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, he's doing it to save the guy's life. So I'm assuming he's also linked in with turning the guy's bracelet off. But without a plan, like trying to escape could lead to them killing you. So it's a bad plan to escape without a plan.
Or killing yourself.
But yeah, so it's
you don't plan far enough ahead.
But I mean, this entire scene is just to show who the character is. It isn't very well thought out. Let's be honest.
Well, neither is his plan, which I love. So.
Well, there isn't a plan. No. Yeah. But nice particle sim, nice lighting, nice texturing. It's all. I mean, yeah. You have a few wallpapers. Oh my god, wouldn't that be an interesting thing if we did like top 10 paintings in the episode? Every episode of Prodigy was find our 10 favorite moments. Like that is beautiful. Can't do it with Lower Decks. You could do it with this show, 100%. What a unique video. Yeah. John Doe says again, Captain, do you have children? I already answered this at the beginning. Curious other parents' perspectives. I have 4 kids. My youngest is 18. I have 4 grandkids. So, yes, I have kids. But wouldn't be interested in watching this. They're not really Star Trek fans. So not really sci-fi fans either.
Not really. Yeah. But my grandkids might watch it. I don't know. I'll have to talk to them and see if there's something they'd be interested in. So. Anyway, he runs into Rock Talk, who seems all mean and
Well, does just run into them.
Kind of intimidated by him.
Ruins the lunch.
Yeah. The goop.
I find it odd that none of the robots tried to stop him. Like, I know that's a big part later on, that he can just walk through the entire facility without anyone, like, doing anything about it. I guess there's a setup for that robots really aren't very good at anything, because if he's running through, like, miles of chambers and where... I know they've got bracelets, but the way they show the robots, the scorpions, that they're everywhere, but they're really not. They really are very poorly... like, not until the end point.
Here's where he jumps on the thing that he was timing earlier, and he's like, "Bye, guys!" And they like shoot the chain.
See you, sucker.
And then it falls. And he should have died, unless his bones are made of like rubber. So that kind of bothers me a little bit, because there's like 2 instances in this episode where he just should have been dead.
Oh, there's more than that. There's.
Well, there's at least 2 major ones, and this is one of them. Well, so that was quite a fall.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. And that was definitely. And then you can easily make things feel less dramatic, but that was that was definitely too much. And also the fact that there's many little inconsistencies. So this thing is fallen down with all these crystals, and yet later on he's like, "What is this stuff?" And it's like the stuff you've been mining for the last 4 years.
Because then he goes on to say, this is enough to buy our own ship," and then he pulls a basket out of it later to show to Dreadnought and Gwen, and she's like, "You found whatever the crystal is. I forget the name of it, but they obviously know what it is." So.
Like it's literally here. He's been mining it for literally years. So there's definitely plot holes in this, which is weird because Lower Decks doesn't seem to have those so much.
ER Mixon's craziest theories, $5.
Give us a crazy theory. Give us a crazy theory. You promised us by that name.
Caretaker was an a-hole.
Yes.
Neelix and the Ocampa pretty much explained that after he ran his experiment, he left the ship stranded. Yes.
No, I thought it was around.
So.
No, hold on. Every ship he scanned that didn't have a compatible life form, he sent back. And it should be the experiments on we didn't hear about because they didn't do many. I think because most races he saw didn't have any compatible life forms, so he sent them all back.
Yeah. Joshua Stearns, $5.
Hey.
Do we know when the show is set? Could it be post-burn? Yes, it's in 2385. It is not post-burn. It is like 10 years after Voyager or something.
4 years after Lower Decks, and it's like 2 years before Picard. Like flashback Picard. Yeah, we don't put exactly where it is. Like everyone's in their jobs. It's not post-burn. No. Yeah. Although I'm kind of... Okay, well, you tell me, are you happy or not that it's not dilithium they're mining?
Yes, I am happy.
Me too. Because I thought it might be. That's the safe rock. I'm happy it's just a thing. Yeah. Okay, good.
But then he steals the Tellarites loader.
So he falls down the chasm into another part of the mine where he finds a random guy in a random area repair a random thing. Is that his job there? Is he hiding there? Why is he there? What? How? What? Why? Why is he there? Why is he not being guarded? I don't get it.
Nathan Allen says, "Is he a Talaxian, our protagonist?" Doll. No, don't think so. Could be.
Could be half Talaxian.
Yeah, he's got kind of the hair in the spots, as Samuel said, but he doesn't know who he is. We don't know who he is yet, so we'll find that out. It's going to be an ongoing thing, at least for this season.
But I would be surprised if he's like, he isn't one species. That could be the gimmick. He's like a multi-generational like hybrid.
Yeah.
But yeah, steering the ship very abrupt and a bit illogical. Just it doesn't flow particularly well.
And then he goes through the chompers. How bad? This is bad.
Yeah, I got massive Galaxy Quest vibes from that.
Yep. Me too.
What's the point of those? Well, at least they had a purpose.
Well, they're crushers. They're binding ore. I love that.
But it's like clearly a Galaxy Quest inspired moment. But definitely this entire chase, it's right out of Star Wars. I mean, you can't get more Star Wars. Let's be honest. Hover thing, robots, which none of them tried to stop him. And even the music is extremely Star Warsy. And he feels like pod racing, or feels like a Kirk from JJ. It's literally right out of JJ and Star Wars. They're obviously big fans of that stuff. I mean, it's a fine scene. It's just very not. Yeah.
It's very actiony, and anyway, he gets caught in the doors and rips the last half of the loader off. And I really love the explosion here.
Yeah.
I think the explosion was very well done.
Yeah, all the particle effects are top notch. And obviously this whole thing does feel like homages to other things. I got massive Red Dwarf vibes when the ship's coming through and the head gets taken off in season 8, and also a pod racer where it can't go through and the ship and then one of the pod racers then it goes doom 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 and then
Yeah.
like just lots
good
of the
sound effect too.
Thanks.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Oh yeah. So extremely like, but it's visually it's very nice, and I really digged the, because I mean we saw all these visuals in the trailer, and often we both would agree that the trailer kind of makes us think certain things, but we were so confused that I found all of the trailer visuals, they were kind of burned through in this episode. Like, oh yeah, that's a good way of using that scene. Oh yeah, this is how he flies off the thing. Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of glad the way they did a lot of them, because there's a yeah, it's good.
Well, Fry Mini throws in $2.
Thanks.
Do you think the Protostar belugas are lonely? The Protostar is way too small to have cetacean ops. So
yes, very.
And Star Trek fan forever puts in $5. Memory Alpha says 2383 that the series is based. Is that true, or is it 2385?
I think you meant you meant 83.
Somebody said 2385 last night, and I kind of locked onto it. So yeah, 2383 is correct.
So it's
yes.
two.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it might have been. It was 2 years after Lower Decks, the current season, and a few years before Picard. It's right in the middle, as we joked about previously. You said, "God, everything's in that between time."
Literally shoehorning it in, yeah. Anyway, he sees a loading or an offloading rebel ramp that's sending stuff into space debris, and goes for it. But the diviner, the bad guy, says no, sir, and he shuts down the power. And it's kind of fun.
It's a great little sequence. Like they put a lot of attention, especially the second time watching it. They dedicate a lot of time to very quick cuts that involve whole new setups, whole new creative artistry for very quick extra details. All these little cutaways are so elaborate, and they just help sell the moment massively more. So I really liked the art here, and it's just a nice idea. Just like, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna make everyone suffer, because you can imagine all of the different crafts. I'm sure many people died, other people hovering and then dead. Like he killed loads of people doing this, but he wanted to get the guy back.
Probably.
So I really kind of like that. It's a very small symbolism of to whatever, and it's just a nice visual, almost escaping. Well, obviously he wouldn't have escaped at all because he would have run out of food in no time. Like it's not, it's a death.
Or air.
Well, yeah,
because she even makes a point too. You tried to escape in a Class D loader.
I mean, Class C maybe, Class D.
Yeah.
So it is a suicide plan, but I don't know if you would agree with this. He might prefer death to stay, like a chance at hope, but most likely death to staying there for years, because that's just a suicide plan at that point. Like there's nothing.
It's like you said earlier. It's a very J.J. Kirk plan.
Yeah.
Just
seat your pants.
Flying by the seat of your pants. Whatever happens. You work with what you get. And a lot of escape plans, honestly, and a lot of media are like that. But yeah.
Speaking of, next time he should have died, the thing then crashes, and we cut to titles. Yes. Sorry, he's dead, because if the thing regained power, he would escape again. It crashed, he died. It's a really bad cut. It's like, what? I mean, he could have been tractor beamed, but without any indication of that, that's too much of a leap, because whatever. So he died there. This is all a dream.
So that's 2 deaths. Let's keep totals of deaths here now. 2 deaths.
Okay, I'm going to write a notepad. I'm going to do
Ozzy Moderus puts in $2. We've pew buttons for superior commander. Yeah, find the pew.
Oh my god, the art design though of his like man cave hill death was great. Very robot-y Transformers, but a cool, and very Tron as well.
Yeah. 121 people here, guys. Hope you're enjoying. We just got into the opening, or the Prodigy thing. Boom! Now we're kind of starting the episode for real. 122 viewers, 95 likes. We can get 120 likes easily. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. And consider channel membership as well. We already had 3 new members this live.
Oh,
so if you guys just click that join button.
Fantastic.
And just see how much it is for a monthly subscription to the channel. It's very cheap. So if you want to and you're able to, please do that. We would like to welcome a lot more members. And
it supports us doing all these massive amounts of videos, as you guys know. But you said, did you enjoy the first episode of Prodigy? Yes, 94%. No, 5% with 106 votes. Wonderful. I'm going to put up another poll.
General Grievous is here. $2. General Dreadnought Snipe.
General Grievous Dreadnought.
Sniping already? You're desperate for that last super chat slot.
He's going saying. 2 hours early just to get it.
At least you can transform your body now into a gun. That
Yes.
you get that final super chat, like boom, baby. Just saying.
Super phaser snipe. General, what did you think of yourself, the Star Trek you? Let us know. You're in it. Congrats.
Jonathan Earl throws in $10.
Oh,
First episode of Prodigy is like first episode of Star Wars Rebels. Both start with a young man running, surviving danger. He ends up joining a crew of rebels, diverse aliens with a ship, going up against an evil empire. I got no sense of an evil empire here. I got a sense of an evil person, the diviner. You know, I don't think there's an empire behind him. Just as robots, but
yeah, empire is not the right word, but substantial force. Because if the guy has thousands of robots, General Grievous and his ships, I mean, there's still enough of a force to defeat one small science ship. So yeah, 100%. But it's still definitely he has an army of robots, which isn't the Trek thing. Like there's not.
And our new member, Food Worth a Wander, says, for the 5% who didn't like it, what didn't you like about the show? Good question. I don't think there was so much they didn't like it. Probably the people that hit that were the ones that couldn't see it because it's not available for them yet. So
well, I think they probably just didn't like it. I mean, that's such a small percentage. Just...
Olivia Julius, $5. Super Chat Snipe. Thank you, Olivia. And the Ronin, $5. While we were fighting over super chats, this damn cyberdroid sniped into the show. It's true.
Yes. Yeah, I just put a new poll, so I'm interested to see what you guys think. Now, we've seen the first episode, we can now quantify. So I asked, would you now consider this a kids show from the first episode, vibe-wise? Yes, kids show, or no, feels pretty normal / adult.
We're 100%. Stop it. Stop it right now.
Oh, now we're at 50%.
Oh, no.
Hey, you got 96. That's pretty good. But speaking of pretty good, we have a rather good Kazon ship, which I guess was Kazon. I threw a guess out there, and I was 100% right, and I was very happy with myself.
Well, it definitely looked Kazon, or he did, so.
Yeah. But yeah, first Kazon and first Jedi. The lady then takes the hood off.
Yeah, and Cetacean. We got a Cetacean kitten.
Yes. Very unusual.
And it is a Cetacean, because it is in the end credits. It does say Cetacean, so just remember that's like it's not a Cetacean. It's just a cat. No, it's not.
Which is great. Yet another Alpha Quadrant race. They are literally piling up. But it's a good little scene, and I really appreciate that the daughter isn't the trope of a rebellious teen who hates her parents. Like, she doesn't not like her dad. She doesn't not respect her dad. She doesn't not want to help her dad. She just, this is what she does. She's calm, she's collected, she wants to help people, but she does she understands there's a reason for all this. So I appreciate, she's more nice than we both thought, and more deep just by avoiding that one trope. I mean, obviously she's locked into a situation, fine, but she's also not trying to escape, she's not trying to be rebellious, she's just, I like that.
And Marvin R says Cation, not Cation. You're right. It's Cation. Sorry. My bad. James Neenan, though, has joined the channel at the rank of Captain. Ooh. So welcome, Captain. That is 4 new members this live. You guys, check out that join button. It's really a big deal. Helps out the channel and just the algorithm. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of breakdowns. We've done, we try and do more and more. We even talk to the showrunners occasionally. And that stuff does help massively. So thank you so much. And outranked me already.
So,
yes.
The guy apologizes for not bringing more people or whatever, and basically says, "I'll give this one to you at half price because she's very young and I just have one." And the guy Dreadnought's like, "It's fine, it's a good deal," but she's not happy with that. The daughter, she's like, "I told him if you bring anybody this young again, you're going to be working in the mines." So she's got a little bit of that evil side as well. So, yeah, great. She cares about people. She cares about. She's got a heart. So, good to know.
And she actively says, Grievous can translate, but that's her job here. She hasn't got that.
Dreadnought. Don't call him Grievous.
I'm gonna call. He's very Grievous. There's, come on, it's fine.
True, but we got to get into their names and then. We
Second episode, I will. He's Grievous for this one. For the amount of Grievous he does. No, yeah, got you confused my point. Oh yeah, he can translate too, but I like the idea that if the diviner, if he is gonna, I mean, his plan is to go to the Federation, do X, Y, and Z, then her knowing all the languages is really useful for the Alpha Quadrant, etc. I mean, can she speak to the cat? She did purr.
She did. It does say. Hold on here.
Okay. So I got the implication it was directly communication.
Yeah, she says speak in Cation language. Yes.
Fantastic. So yeah, that's another Alpha Quadrant race. Yes. Just like, I mean, why would you need that unless you're going to the Alpha Quadrant? And you wouldn't have that knowledge unless you've been in the Alpha Quadrant. So we're deepening this. That's great. I certainly didn't get it was a
Yeah, and she asked Dreadnought, why does my father insist I do this when you can also translate? And he says, the diviner has plans for you. And she's like, yeah, and he never tells me.
Which then makes me ask you a question then. Is this guy a robot? Like a full robot, or is he more of a cyborgy thing? What is he?
He's probably a full robot. That'd be my guess.
I would guess so too. He doesn't feel... He has too much personality to be just a robot, but I think he's just a robot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Eric Martin throws in $5. They better learn to run that ship quickly, as the Divine and every mercenary he can hire will be after them. The Diviner, yes. And Squadron Course, $2. Would a catfish ensign be a Cation cetacean? Wow.
And would Trip Tucker like catfish for dinner? What? That was a line.
Wow, that's great.
I also got to say, sorry.
That's great. That's great. No, that's fine. I got to remember that one because that's going to be a post in the future. I like that. Squadron Course, I'm stealing it.
It's good. I was very impressed by the art design for this. The main lady in this, just we knew how she looked, but it was so like that one-dimensional poster. Like all the detail of the hair and the I think also because she smiles and she has a nice friendly vibe, it just all comes together very successfully as a like they're all successful characters, which is very, very hard to do, but she definitely elevated very quickly in it.
And General Grievous throws in $5 and says, "Shush, Captain, listen to Sam. Grievous is underappreciated by his boss. Interesting parallel. There is an understandable annoyance at being told the obvious."
Yes.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Thank you.
I thought it was weird that the Cation kid only had fur on their face, not the back of the head.
Can't say I noticed.
And I Am Misi throws in $5. Gwen's race seems to have some sort of technomancy type thing going on. Yeah, kind of. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There's only 2 of them left, apparently. Her and her daddy.
Which is a great little reveal. I also liked that the second time around, now the guy's looking at all of his like plans to see where the ship is. If only he knew it was like 30 meters from his current excavation. He was right there! Right. Like, tomorrow they could have found it, Stuart.
Just go through the waterfall, climb up the ravine,
no,
at the top there.
It wasn't. Because they came up from the ravine. Like, it was literally level.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, literally. It was like half a mile. We'll get there, but it's literally just go to the outside of the waterfall, Inquisitor man. It's right there.
And this is where the Diviner's like, you can speak in standard. I know you favor this primitive tongue.
Yeah.
So they're speaking in English. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, this guy's cool. I love his little tank thing. Very Darth Vader-y.
I mean, great visual, but yeah, it gave me the Tron Master Control, that big giant thing. And then, second time I was like, oh, that's Darth Vader in liquid. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Another Star Wars parallel. There's so many. It's got to be massively intentional. I mean, we all love Star Wars. Fine, do it. But, boy, these guys are Star Warsing hard. It's cool, though. It's great. It's a great look.
Yeah, but the reason the Diviner called her was, how well do you know the prisoner Dal Real or whatever, R apostrophe E, whatever his last name is. Anyway, how well do you know Dal? And she says, I know his species is unknown. He's mildly intelligent, but his abilities are few. He talks a lot, and the Diviner's like, I need him to talk. So he asks, the Dreadnought asks what his tolerance for pain is, and she's like, that won't be necessary. I can get him to talk, but I need time. So she cares about him. She doesn't want him hurt, and the dad knows that they have. He's she refers to him as her favorite prisoner. So
Mm.
they obviously have a friendship-ish going on. So,
Or at least a history. Yeah.
yeah.
Or at least that's what the dad hopes.
Yeah. And they want to catch the fugitive Zero
Yes.
because his being free and out there is giving hope to others or will cause problems. He said it gives unwanted hope, and hope has no purpose here. So.
Yeah, and I quite liked the fact that to communicate, they connected via the head light glow nurse. That was quite fun. So like the little attention to detail where he sounded different in and out of the like you kept swapping between his perspective and out, so you got the speakers versus little attention to detail, which I quite liked. And then she walks away, and they say, "Yes, but we can't let them know about the Federation. She's not ready for that. But master plan and all that shit. But the Federation is too good. I'm not at all Emperor Palpatine, and you're not at all General Grievous. Grievous, no."
He actually says, "She must not know what I am searching for. I cannot have the thought of the Federation influence her in any way.
The Federation.
When the time is right, she will understand why."
Kill the Jedi on the Federation. Yes. It's good though. I mean that one name drop obviously is the most Star Trek we've had, apart from the intro music, and it plays like a beat on a drum. The audience goes boom, ooh, and it instantly got 10 times deeper.
Yeah.
Single reference, boom, ooh, okay.
That's 124 cool. People, 103 likes, guys. I want to get to 120 likes. So if you're new joining us, hit that like button, please. And join in the conversation via super chats if you can. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I'm having a really good one here. So, yeah.
Aw, food worth a wonder. His abilities are few. Story of my life.
Right.
Aw.
Anyway, we got him in a prison cell, and he hears somebody. I think speaking to him, but it's telepathy. We find out later. And he's amazed that they know his language. So he asks what species they are. Zero says, "Doesn't matter because we're all trapped here regardless. So the only difference between us, everybody else, and you is that you're the only one that thinks they can still escape." So yeah. Then he thinks that whoever's talking to him is freeing him because the cell door goes down, and he gets dragged away and finds out that the next cell was empty. So who was talking to him? Yeah,
nice simple scene. Worked well.
Yep, and again, kind of has the Star Wars vibe, that hallway for sure.
And the creatures. I mean, you can't get much more Star Warsy, really. Let's be honest.
A lot of the robots in this are very reminiscent of things we see in Transformers Beast Wars and Transformers Prime. So I mean, this
is a heavily inspired TV show. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's funny because then Lower Decks is very much its own vibe. This is very, very much heavily inspired by non-Star Trek. Very interesting. But no, this is fun. Very Dune here. Very Dune or like Blade Runner, that epic scale opening the door. Very JJ style because they had the cinema vibe. And I like the quick reversal. Obviously, we know they have a relationship. And instantly has his feet up on the chair and it gets quite friendly. It's a nice, it disarms you as an audience, like, oh, this is going to be a different sort of scene. Okay, cool.
The first thing she says is, "Tell me again what it's like out there." And he's like, "Share some of those honey leeches, and I'll tell you stories that'll make you feel like you're living amongst the stars," which indicates that he probably hasn't been there very long.
Yeah, that means he lived out in the stars. But then who with? He doesn't know his parents, doesn't know his alien race. Because I say he doesn't know his parents because they'd know his race. So yeah, we said that in our other review that he must not have been there that long because very quickly, escaping, getting imprisoned, getting tortured, getting attacked. The fact that he knows what Grievous will do to him, meaning he knows he's had that happen to him before. Like 2 years max, to try and whatever. Because you also can't make any friends here. So, escaping, it's such a simple idea to keep them together, or keep them separated,
Well, they talk about the plan here. She says, try to escape with the Class D loader. He's like, "I didn't think that far ahead. I saw my chance and I took it." So, it shows his impulsiveness and his desire to get out of there. So,
yeah.
I am Misi throws in $5. Thank you. It does remind me of Star Wars, but at the same time, it isn't often we get viewpoints, especially for this much screen time from outside of Starfleet. True. Absolutely true.
Yeah, never really. But there's still like limitations of the Starfleet feel, and they're going for high cinema, high scale. These are not things they could do on the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s budgets. So, you know, where Star Wars did them from day one. So,
and she drops the thing of how convenient that your opportunity to escape was the same time that Fugitive Zero sabotaged the manacle antenna for his wrist or his ankle manacle. And he's like, wait, whoa, I'm not working with anybody. Like, what are you talking about? I love the surprise on his face. Like, so yeah, that's good.
I really hope she's like, oh yeah, he's telling the truth. Clearly, that's like, it's such a genuinely perfect reaction. It's like,
well, maybe he's working in cat boots with.
No, cetacean boots.
Yeah. Cation
boots.
Yeah, when she said cat boots, and he's like, "Do you mean cahoots?" I'm like, "What are the odds that his language would have the same thing?" Oh, wait a minute. Later we find out he's speaking standard.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Because it's not her language by default, and most people don't speak it. So yeah, I thought that was fine. And it worked well. It was a good. I also was quite intrigued. He's not a hero in the sense of a hero, because in a few seconds here, he does actively make a real deal to really, like, you know, to escape, sure, give up the guy. Like, he goes from being, yeah, I won't tell you anything, but I do know something, to, I'm sorry, I know everything, I'll help. Like, you can't get more backslidey than that. But it feels relatively organic, and I'm kind of impressed, because that could feel really, like, shitty.
Yeah.
But something about these two work in unison, it kind of works.
And she has a little stab at him here. She says, at least I know what I am. And you see his, like, hands clenched behind his back. Like, it bothers him that he doesn't know what species he is. Well,
it probably also bothers him more because in this scenario, he's living in a world where he is not only one here, but no one speaks his language. So he is the most alone. If he could speak with everyone, he's just one of this community. But all he has is his own identity. He doesn't even know it. So, yeah, it's more meaningful because he's alone.
And she also tells him that the fugitive is Medusa, and he's like, oh, a telepath. So now he's cluing in that the person talking to him was Zero. So that was good.
How does he know what Medusans are?
They're pretty well known in the Federation. So
doesn't know the Federation, though.
No, but he knows what a Tellarite is.
He does.
No, he doesn't know the language.
I know. So I'm just adding on to what you said earlier. Like, I was supposed to he just knew what they were. There's abstract, rare species that they don't, because they don't have bodies. They don't go explore. They don't have ships. They don't do anything. Why would he know what they are?
Yeah.
It felt very like, how would you possibly know that? Like, I wouldn't expect necessarily Picard to know what a Medusan is necessarily. You know, like, especially not like Riker. Like, wouldn't know every alien race that's abstract.
Jonathan Earl, $5.
Thank you.
Is it possible all episodes are 45 minutes long? No. Episode 2 is actually part 2 of episode 1, though episode 1 is 1 hour and 45 minutes long. I couldn't confirm on I thought episode 1 was 1 hour and 45 minutes long. No. I couldn't confirm on IMDb. No, these are shorter episodes. This was like the first 2 essentially.
I think what he means is every episode actually, is it 10 episodes, really 5 episodes, just they've split them in half?
Oh,
they're all designed to be 45 minutes. I don't think so. I think just like any children's cartoon, they're 25 minutes, give or take.
Yeah.
But then we're back to him speaking to everyone who knows nothing. And it's relatively funny. It's relatively whatever.
My question is, how did he get into the Discovery's turbolift shaft?
Well, he took the spore drive, obviously.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, every one of these experts has a spore drive built in, don't you know? I thought it was nice, though, that this looked very much like the Talaxian lift from that one episode.
Yeah, the orbital elevator.
Yeah. I don't know if it's literally. And I thought it was quaint. Oh, God, look at that detail on that rock thing. Wow. I mean,
the visuals are fantastic.
I mean, the characters have a certain level of detail, but that just is such a high level of fucking hell. And depth of field as well. That's gorgeous. I mean, that looks more real than he does. Damn it. Although you can imagine, and I thought this earlier, Lower Decks is probably quite a cheap show to make. But if Nickelodeon's also sponsoring this, if they put in half the money, and then it'll double the money of Lower Decks, and it looks expensive in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Sean O'Sullivan throws in €2
Thank you.
and says Dal's identity has been leaked. He's a Skywalker.
That is all. But I like this scene. It's fun, and the buddy system works fun, and bit contrived with the big guy, but whatever. It's a story. It's fine. That's a classic.
Well, this elevator scene reminded me so much of the Ruapente elevator scene.
Yeah.
With the big, not everybody. Yeah.
Just a bit more funny. No, for sure.
Yeah.
And can't they give him a smaller mining laser? Like, he'll be less efficient with a big one.
Well, that's why he said, I'm a small guy. We usually don't work down there because that's for bigger guys. And she's like, yeah, you're crafty. Figure it out. The next thing you see him on the elevator. So.
I know, but someone still give him, someone had to hand him a blaster, though. Because I assumed it was more because it was dangerous down there rather than, size implies, And also, we never got any indication that the inmates fight at all. Actually, they're all very supportive of each other. So it's more just dangerous from the falling rocks, whatever.
Dave puts in £2.
Oh, look at that.
Do we know the target age demographic for this show?
4,
whatever age you are.
14, 15, I'd assume.
Yeah, I'd assume, tweens.
Wouldn't be 18, definitely wouldn't be 12. So I think middle is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that as well. Look at the interactive lighting. Look at oh, God. So much detail. I mean, it's just rendered stuff. It's very easy to do. It's just it keeps thing upon thing upon thing of detail. It's great.
SVS Guru 2000, €5.
Thank you.
How much will the fandom menace complain about Dal and Gwen's woke hairstyles? Oh, they'll make whole videos about it, and people will flock to it.
Well, it's
flock of seagulls.
Oh,
it's a hairstyle.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know if it's actually her hair. I think it's just her skin, but I know what you mean.
I am Misi throws in $5. Nickelodeon pulled out the checkbook for this. The visuals are even better than the Bad Batch, and that was Disney money. Yeah, just a different animation style. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, they're having a moment of growl if you understand me. If you see anybody like this, let me know. Make a noise.
Yeah.
And then she needs the tether, so she's pulling and pulls him, and he's like, "Ooh, pictures! Look, you help me escape, and you can come with me, sure."
That's pretty fun. It's a good little. Yeah. You would think he'd be self-aware enough to put both of them, but he's also a bit dumb. He's a dumb kid, so it was right there. It was right there. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he threw the rocket at her, and she's not happy. And then we get the MacGuffin scene. The worst scene of the episode, probably.
Yeah.
Which is not...
Accidentally fires his mining laser, cuts through the roof, and it collapses. I don't know how she protected him. I thought she would at least jump on him.
She didn't even reach him.
No, I know. I saw her running towards him, and I'm like, okay, she's going to protect him from the falling... Because she's a rock. But no. Bugs me so much.
Yeah, literally, we see... I mean, there isn't even an editing trick said. This is how far she is. And the next frame, the rock is gone. The rock that's bigger than all of them hits them. So they're both dead. They've both been killed.
He is. I can see her.
Well, okay, sure. But not just that. Only one rock is coming down, right? They didn't... the whole room didn't get destroyed. And this is easily accessible from the rest of the facility. So, a big rock hit them both. And the next shot,
no sense.
They're in a different room.
Yes.
And not just a different
Unless
room.
all this stuff fell down around them, but it doesn't look like that at all. It looks like a different cavern.
And not just that, but then you can't say they found it because it was right there. And he lit the ceiling alight, because it's right in front of them. So it's not as if... So my assumption is the rock pushed them down layers, on this, there's a ceiling, but then you'd think that now
that's double triple impacts.
Yeah, it's being hit the kinetic force. Either way, Dahl's dead. It's a really, really bad edit. Absolutely the worst I've seen, even in compared to JJ and Discovery. They needed anything in between. And even the rock size doesn't make sense for what she's gone. None of it connects. I don't know if they deleted a scene,
YJ Wrangler says basically a wall fell apart. I would buy that, except that all the crystals are all around them now.
Mm-hmm. And
If
in
it
the
had just been
walls.
literally a wall,
Yeah.
then that would have made a lot more sense. But
Yeah.
it just visually it didn't sync up with what happened.
Because look at the environment. It's just a big magma area with one rock in the ceiling. And then new scene, there's literally crystals literally everywhere. All of the rock have to disintegrate and reveal all of the crystal. The entire scene is different. Absolutely everything. I mean, if you guys have got ideas, but I mean, now you look at that. I mean, even the ceiling is literally. I mean, this is like the jackpot. Which actually, I wondered then. This is more than in any other location of the mining colony. This must be intentional why the ship is here. Because it's right in the densest parts. Like
maybe it caused the crystals to form.
Oh, that's good. That's got to be connected.
Maybe whatever the extra drive emits, when it shuts down, all the particles fly off, and here they just started to form crystals. Because look at the way they even are formed. It looks like it could have been an explosion with them all blowing up.
Because I mean, it's definitely the same room, because they walk forward a bit and they see the sky, like a big bright sky. There's a cliff and a chasm. Yeah. So, but even if they've gone down, that means the chasm is above, which means they easily could have got through. It's completely illogical.
Yeah.
And Bill, you kind of see they got teleported by the crystals because they get out of it.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth.
And Bill Barkley says the lithium crystals, they're not the lithium crystals. There is a name for the crystals, which we'll have in a second here when that screen comes up, but they are not dilithium.
Yeah, guys, do you have an idea what happened in this scene? It is the worst scene in the episode. It completely is illogical. Do you have any idea? And we're both smart guys that do this for a living. I'm mad. It's just really like they let themselves down badly here. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Captain Chili Bina, though, throws in $2. Theory: Dal species is rubber and can't get hurt. Oh, yes,
I did think
I said that earlier as well.
Which I'm actually fine with. I mean, strong skin, absolutely fine with that. But in fact, let's do a quick poll. So let's just finish the last poll. Would you now consider this a kids' show from the first episode, vibe-wise? Yes, 45%. No, 55%. Okay, so pretty. I think that's pretty fair. No, the gravity's not low. We don't see it any other time. But no, as this being the big reveal of the ship is a huge letdown, because we're all wondering what's happened. Like this is the moment you see the ship, but from this point onwards, we start rushing through the plot points. Like we've been very slow apart from the chase, and now we're gonna rush for a bit. Yeah, very. Yeah.
But they approach the ship. The door opens a little bit. They look under, and Big Rock Talk slides the door up. And there's a legit, for real, no split, nothing, Delta on the back of the door on the inside, which was great to see. So it's actually a real Delta on that door anyway. Welder215 puts in €5 and says, to me, it looks like the collapse of the wall caused the crystals to grow. Growth due to the sudden influx of energy? Hey, that makes the most sense out of anything. So,
the problem is, if you can literally grow them, then they're having value, and they're mining it if they can just grow them. Yeah. If literally beaming, if shooting a beam, they can make themselves at a ceiling.
Which is a mining laser that they use to mine them. It would just like start producing them. They're like, whoa, sweet.
No. That's a good idea, but it make them not mine worthy. And the fact that, like we said, there's literally a chasm 4 meters away, and it's in a giant chasm. Like I kind of wish that we had a very similar vibe to the Discovery end where they're in Kronos. This very enclosed vibe, like it almost been like super buried. Like it's not buried, it's landed. You know, it's big open space. But yeah, the Delta. Sorry, now the Delta was a nice surprise because we do see split deltas and we do see full deltas. Yeah. So it's like everything's here. Okay.
Yeah. But here it's neat because when they go in, you can actually see when they look up, you can see that's the drive that later when the ship transforms, that's what comes out. So I love that it's stored inside and doesn't just be, it's not created by like nanobots or nanotech.
Oh no, why am I laughing? Of course that would happen.
I know. I like it's a physical thing inside the ship. So
we
don't know that yet though. Yeah. Because we haven't seen the ship do that yet, even though we have, but you know what I mean.
Now, I was wondering, is it like a shuttle pod? Like a travel pod? because they almost look like hands that could like go and it come out.
Yeah, but when you watch the transformation and you look at how it looks and you see this and where it is on the ship,
Yeah,
it's very clearly that's what that is, I think.
and then when you add that idea, if this is the entire bottom back of the ship, and the entire top is the mechanism to pull out, the ship only has the saucer and the bit that like there isn't much space. Like you've already taken out a lot of the internal volume, which is great.
Yeah,
like less crew. That means this ship is designed around this one thing. This is what it does, you know.
But later when we see him standing on the hull, like he's so little, and the ship scale is kind of wonky a little bit in this episode for me.
To be fair though, he ain't 6 foot.
No, it's true. That's very true.
Like
still, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, and we get some interior shots, which very Discovery-esque, very big, shiny. Lots of stairs, which kind of gives me the vibe of like a embassy for some reason. But you know, Discovery-esque. But
before we get to the split delta thing, SVS Guru 2000 puts in €5.
Thank you.
I voted kids show because I consider there to be a wide range of what counts as for kids, including some serious shows with darker themes.
Yeah, sure.
Fair. I would say this is a young adult show, not a kids show.
Yeah, but that was just for easy marketing, which is it's double-edged sword. Yeah.
Yeah, so they wander up some stairs. We get a nice open area that, again, goes up to the bridge. You see another staircase, but you do see a delta on the floor. USS Protostar, got the registry number, and United Federation of Planets. And it has a legit split down the middle of the delta. At first, with the frame that I saw, which is the one you're on, it looks like it's just the command star that's extended, which it is. But if you get the frame that has it between them, you can see the regular.
Oh yes.
The delta that we see later, which is stupid. It's the star. I mean, that's.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
totally is.
Okay, so maybe it is literally their emblem then, like the ship's custom emblem.
Maybe it's unique for the ship. Yeah.
Which
exactly.
would make me feel a lot better about it because we know it's really strange.
So which is why there's a regular Starfleet delta on the inside of the door.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, we did say I kind of hope that the comm badge has technology like protects the crew from the proto drive, So hopefully that's part of it. But yeah, very whatever. And it's a nice, gentle welcome to the ship. It's done well. I just wish it looked more Star Trek classic, but I mean the dome certainly is cool. And that chasm, Stuart, that chasm weren't where they were a second ago. That's literally a giant open cravat of epicness, and they fell down like it's just ridiculous. It looks great though.
Yeah, I do like the way that you can go up to the bridge. There's a stairway on each side, and then I think there's probably a turbo lift. There is a turbo lift in the middle because we see Rock Talk and Murph use it later. So
I love what this show makes us say.
Rock Talk and Murph.
Yeah. So random comm badge on a random surface gets touched, the entire ship turns on.
It looks like it's floating.
It does. It's not, but it does. It's poorly designed that way, but it is.
It is floating. Because when you go to touch it, you see it move up.
But it's not hot. Why did what? What?
Yep. Anyway, so she pushes it, and you see the Elcars fire up on the chair, the floating holograms, and everything fires up. And the universe translator kicks in, and we find out it's not a big guy. And nice to meet you, kid. I like that scene. The whole process of just realizing what's going on was great.
This is probably the most Star Trek moment of it so far. Because they've already kind of bonded non-dialectically, and instantly rebond with this.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
I Am Misi throws in $5 and says the seats were the part that bothered me Starfleet aesthetic-wise. Yeah, but then again, it could be a reason for that, which you might find out later. But yes, I do like the captain's chair look, though. It's cool, but it feels very Galaxy Quest or Orville.
Or Jellyfish. Like the exterior more than the interior, just that sort of.
Yeah.
I guarantee it's going to have some sort of field or something that... Like, it's got to have something that... It's never going to be that big in real life unless it's got a field.
It looks like one of the chairs from Ready Player One. the really advanced chair that the guy has.
Yeah.
But
and I just set my poll now. 48 votes. Was that the worst scene? 50% yes. 48% no. Yay! I win that just.
I love how he says it's a universal translator, and she's like, "Yeah, I may be big, but I'm not dumb."
Yeah. Yes. No, it's a good scene, and we're instantly introduced to the dude and
Zero.
Yeah.
And actually, it's neat because you see that his feet come down into frame, or hers. It's and later it's floating with no feet.
Yeah.
But you do see the feet like slowly come down, so they must fold up in there somehow, I was kind of wondering about.
They can fly, cut it. But yeah, nice explanation. Obviously, tremendous. We actually got to see a literal Medusan box in the flashback, which was certainly something we never thought we were going to see. So good job for them. And it's a good explanation. You know, it was used as a torture device. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, and I do think that's one of Morn's race. Definitely looks like Morn.
Yeah, it looks like a Star Wars-avised version.
Yeah, it does.
But
it does look like Morn. I definitely got Morn vibes from it.
Just hasn't got hair, and they keep making that mistake. I know.
It's becoming a thing now.
I know. But and we do actually see him later. He's on the surface, insane.
He's pushing one of the
Yeah. But he's so chill and happy. And obviously, you know, that's the suit you made? Hey, you tried building a suit without hands. It's like, fair point. How did you do this? Sorry, what?
And here's where they're trying to determine how many people they need. Can 3 of us get this thing out of here? And he's Medusa's like, 3? A ship this size requires at least 20, or depending on the species, 37 appendages.
It's a stupid
but they at least need an engineer, so at least an engineer, and they know where to go for that.
Yeah. Although I did think they keep playing on the idea these kids do know stuff and don't know stuff, because how does Medusan know about spaceships? If he's also a child Medusan, and then...
I don't think he's a child Medusan. Medusans live for a long time because they're non-corporeal.
Sure, but he also doesn't know how to fly. Like, he's never flown... What's he done with his life, being non-corporeal? Like, what do? They hasn't flown a ship before, is telepathic, doesn't know about aliens, but doesn't, like... You know, they both play on the have knowledge. Like, why would he know 25 people on this ship could... I don't... Like, you'd have to know a lot about spaceships, but then we shouldn't know how to fly a ship, you know all about ships, but he doesn't know how to fly a ship. There's just some strange, like, we got to get through the situation, so this all will change the knowledge level of some characters, or at least potential knowledge level.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to find out all about the characters and what they're... So.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we get the whole... this guy definitely looks like Bebop. Is it Bebop or Rocksteady? The one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guy, the warthog guy.
Yeah.
Same hair color, same hairstyle, and same glasses. Just saying.
Same glasses?
Yeah. If you look at the glasses of Bebop and Rocksteady...
Sorry, yeah, the next scene.
Yeah.
Although, briefly, T-Berg says, so much for the window versus view screen argument, lol, greenhouse versus starship. Well, it's not a view screen either. The ship has no view screen. It's not even a window, it's a dome. Like, that's what I thought. Like, this has neither a view screen or a window. Its bridge dome is translucent. Like, it's a bridge dome, it's not a view screen or a window, so it's an irrelevant argument in this case. Yeah. It's just the bridge dome's open.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in another €5, so thank you. Zero reminds me of one of the bots from Portal 2's co-op mode.
Extremely similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a ball with arms and legs. I mean, it's as simple as you can get, which is fine. Yeah. But yeah, back to the Tellarite, and plot hole number 7. We're able to go from unknown cavern in unknown part of place without any technology. He's able to successfully get all the way back up to the first deep core. No, that wasn't deep core. To the normal area without being spotted by any guards, questioned by anybody, and find him. Remember where he was, because he also found him by accident while running.
Yeah.
And
but he also
implies
that he knows him, that he's a Tellarite, and that he's argumentative. So it means that he's probably run into him a few times and has argued with him, even though he couldn't understand him, because they make a point here of saying, "Oh, now you can understand me," or "Wait, I can understand you." How? a magic translator.
I don't know.
So it's really weird. This is another one of those plot things that bothers me because it's like he's a Tellarite. They're argumentative. That it's like, how do you know that? Like, how did you know he was argumentative anyway? Whatever.
You can't argue without speech because it's a back and forth. There is no back and forth.
Unless you saw somebody else doing it. Unless you saw him arguing with somebody else once or twice. Because you can tell an argument's happening when you don't understand.
But then you wouldn't know who's right, because you can have an argument where one guy's not arguing, he's just generally debating a position.
If every time you see him he's arguing with somebody, unless he's by himself, it's pretty Tellarite thing to do, I guess.
Yeah. But we're adding so much layers of this guy bumps to this guy every 4 days. And no, it's very, very poorly done. Again, it would have been nice to at least just have a moment of him like Rey and Rise of Skywalker, like just going through the corridors, dodging people, and even briefly later on they do say, how do robots find us? They're tracking our monitors, so they are being tracked. So that could explain why he's never never stopped, because he's being the Grievous guy's watching him. But then they know where the ship is the entire time then, by that logic, because they'll seen them go back and forth to the same location. They already have people there, so it's just plot hole stuff. They didn't think it through properly, and definitely. But we've got to skip. We've got to get to a crew. We've got to get out. This is where the episode starts to fall apart a bit. Its foundations, its setup, are getting wobbly. But yeah.
Timey wimey wobbly. What?
Yeah.
I am Misi puts in $5.
Thank you.
I think the guards were told to leave him alone because he was supposed to find Zero. Gwen may have told him species of the others at some point. Hey, that's legit, sure, but it doesn't come off that way.
And there'd be hundreds of species, and he's one of hundreds, and they don't. That's such a leap.
Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. Could the bridge dome have retractable armor?
Hopefully.
Absolutely, it could.
Frickin' hopefully.
Yeah. Anyway, I love the whole thing here of, do you always argue? I just offer a differing viewpoint and helps you make decisions better, which are going to come in important later. But basically, they agree that they need him on the ship, and he agrees as well. You can't get rid of me now, so yes, he's joining them. So
yeah, once you get over the stupidity of the setup, it's a great scene.
Yeah, yes.
Like it, as a few things this episode really are, and that's the kids' logic, That's where it being a real show and a kids' show, like the logic factor just breaks many a time, but it's a kids' show, so you can get away with it. I do think though he's a dumb character, like literally intelligence-wise, because they tricked him. But it's lovable, It's yeah. No, it's fun. And had a good comment here. Oh no, it was super chat, so you can read it out.
Dave, £2. Surely the founding race member knows Federation standard. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah. But if he wasn't born on a Tellarite ship,
if he wasn't taught it, that's the thing.
Yeah. That's another leap. That's true. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. SBS Guru 2000, €5. Wasn't the Universal Translator established to be an implant in the ear in DS9 episode where Quark and company travel back in time to 60s Earth? No. The only reason they had an implant was because they didn't have comm badges. They weren't members of the crew. The comm badge is the translator. And on the ship, the whole ship is the translator, generally. So, yeah, they only had it because they were Ferengi and had big ear space, probably, and also because they don't carry comm badges. They're not crew members.
Yeah, that's standard. That's Ferengi protocol. Yeah. I mean, even Klingons have, badges, like emblems, etc. So, yeah. I do kind of wish, though, now we've discussed it ad nauseum here, I wish that he was the only guy on the station that he knew and spoke basic. And that's why he knew how to find him. That's how he knew he was a good engineer.
That he would help.
And their hair matches. They were the only friends. But,
they used the same hair coloring. That's what it is. They met in the salon.
But because he's so argumentative, they're not really friends, but they are, but they're not. That, I think, would have been much better here. Because, he should speak basic.
And James says, is English Federation standard? Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Because we founded the Federation.
Yep. Jonathan Archer basically did, yeah. So.
But no, it's a good scene, good logic. And I love how quickly the chemistry between the big guy or the big girl and the purple, and they have a nice little
Mm-hmm.
brotherly sisterly chemistry already.
Yeah.
Although boy, that Tellarite's small, Stuart. Please make the connection you made earlier, because it's such a salient point. He's so small.
What connection is that? You got to remind me.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh yes, very dwarf-like, very dwarfish. In the way, well, that's just the Tellarite though. The way they're argumentative and more body hair.
Forges.
More, yeah, forges. He's an engineer. I love his transforming hand, by the way. That's really cool. Good tool for an engineer. But I actually like the way they lead into the next scene where it's like, oh, would you look at that? And you assume, of course, he's an engineer. He loves the ship. No, he's looking at the Medusan's suit going, what the hell? I want to see how this works.
Yeah.
And what about the ship? You've seen one, you've seen them all. It's kind of unique for an engineer. Usually engineers are like, oh, look at the ample nacelles on that.
Oh, mama. Those warp coils, those stretch the whole length of that nacelle, Stuart. Ooh.
Yeah.
But the Medusan's a homemade exoskeleton containing a transdimensional being. There's a spaceship. Yeah, one's more interesting. But it provides another interesting comment. If this guy's also a teenager, which he is, they've always said that, and he says, you've seen one ship, you've seen them all, and he's not like a specialist engineer, he's just some guy that fixes some things, he's seen many ships then. Well, when has he seen? Was he also brought a few years ago when he was in his father and mother's spaceport ship? He seems very calm. You would think anyone who's a prisoner would want to escape, but he seems extremely okay to be here. Like, the vibe is not, I'll escape with you guys, yeah! But he knows ships. And I don't get the feeling he, like, worked on the overseer's ships, otherwise you'd think that would be slightly in the dialogue, or they'd play to that a little bit. So it's a bit of a disconnect, but... Yeah.
And I also love the back and forth here with the Tellarite and Dal, where it's like... And Dal's like, no, by end of day, he says. Very captain to engineer. Because even in Relics, Scotty's like, captains are like babies. They want everything right away. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that was a nice little throwaway connective line. Very nice, very nice. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a good little scene. They feel quite connected quite quickly. And yeah, some of the Tellarites are smaller than average in general. So obviously a kid Tellarite being smaller. But like a 3-foot Tellarite. And then we get a rather quaint little cute scene. Again, very Star Wars vibe. This could be right out of Last Jedi. But it's nice. It's pretty. Looks nice. She's not a prisoner, which I like.
Teaching the Cation how to another language, and how it's an insight into the culture when you learn the language. Nice little. Anyway, Dreadnought comes in and asks where her favorite prisoner is. They know where he is, so they're going down there now. Mm-hmm. So there you go. And then, another very J.J. Kirk moment here with the way he's sitting in the chair. I supply motivation. Like I said, the only thing missing was the apple, and he should have taken one of those fruits from earlier and been eating it right here. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced.
Briefly, I'm also intrigued. Why is the TOS character holding the crystals? That implies it must be something important because he's taken them from the outside into the inside and on the bridge. I'm hoping there's something smart because it's such an abstract. Well, there's no reason for that unless there's a reason for that.
No. I was wondering that myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get introduced to Murph. And I love how Rock Talk is like, I want to hear what he has to say. He must be a little chatterbox. Oh, maybe he's too intelligent for the universal translator.
Yes. It's good. It's fun. It's like having an imaginary friend that's real, but also a blob.
It's a pet.
Yeah. But we did see it with the mining laser earlier, so it understands how to use a mining laser. It's weird, but it's fun. It kind of works. But then, hard cut to, they're tracking us now. And it's like, have they been tracking us for the last 8 hours then? Why are they only coming now?
And here too, okay, because they pop their heads up, and Dal says, "Conceal the entrance. I'll keep them busy," which implying that they did drop down. But I don't know. Anyway.
Well, yeah, they pop up, but that would be a 10-story drop.
I know.
So
that's what I'm saying.
There's no way.
No.
And also, you couldn't obscure that because it was a massive hole, and you haven't obscured it. You're just standing there.
The only thing that I would buy is when the ceiling collapsed. The floor beneath them collapsed as well, but it was kind of like a slope like this, so they slid down into a cavern instead of falling. Would have made more sense, but it was never shown that way. So
and also very dead still, because now the rock is literally sliding and
rolling. It's an avalanche of rocks. Yes.
I mean, that would have been a nice visual as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we find out the crystals are called chimerium.
Yeah, because look, literally, there's the orbital drop site. They didn't even walk very far, so they were literally like seconds away from finding the ship.
Yeah,
I didn't actually capture that first time, and they know where, but they know where the Tellarite is. Like, the fact they don't capture them all right now is another plot hole. They know where they all are. They have scanners. They've just said that. That's the only reason they know why they're there. So why not go one step further? Like, beep, 3 people right there. It's another dumb little.
And the doctor says, "Oh man, they ripped off Yaphet from Orville." Not at all. I mean, this one doesn't talk, and like I said on Twitter earlier, they said it's something from Star Trek lore that nobody's locked onto yet. It's that obscure. So even I'm scratching my head thinking the only thing I can think of is the little medallion thing that formed a key or whatever. Like, it was a shapeshifter essentially. It was purple. It was little, but
let's be honest, they did also use Yaphet as everyone likes Yaphet. We'll use Yaphet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. It worked.
This scene's really cool though, where she's like, I was just getting somewhere with the Zero guy, but I found all these crystals. And she's like, if you're hiding something, tell me. And his look on his face, he looks to the side and he's like, I wish I knew what to say. Nice little moment.
Yeah. And I quite like the fact that it's very much a dude. Is there anything here? Because I don't think she does believe him. Because it's a great little cover of, no, I found like the mother lode and I just got sidetracked for a few hours. So I quite like the little context there. Although again, just go find other people. Yeah, just another plot hole.
And this is where Dreadnought takes over and says, your father's basically ordered he's going to be going up to the surface. And Dahl's like, no, nobody returns from the surface. Like Rapente. Nobody returns from Rapente.
Very abrupt, though.
Yes.
It's another, like, pacing issue of just like, okay, I guess. And then the big girl runs all the way down, speaks to them. And I love how it's like, oh no, he's been captured. Hopefully he escapes. Right, what do we do next? Like, there's no plan to save him. Not even on their minds. Because the thing is, they had to bring an engineer. They didn't need a captain. Like,
they're like, if he can get back, cool. If not, we're taking off.
Cross fingers. Which I quite like. And now he's
we got him up on the surface doing the hard labor.
I don't know why he just starts doing it. It's just such an abstract,
This was such a weird cut.
It just felt like trailer bait. Because this was the whole start of the scene trailer, is to get something cool. It just feels lifeless as a scene. Like, I like the idea of doing a fake out. That's fine. That's good. But it just feels very lackluster.
Yeah. And they're pushing this thing. It is what it is. She's talking to him, I guess.
Saying sorry.
Wasn't supposed to be this end this way, so goodbye. But it's all a plan because...
They blow it up intentionally.
Yeah. But then he's just suddenly back at the ship. So I know they've set this up and they're tracking him, but
they already were.
I know, but the hard cut to go back to the ship is just it's really weird.
Well, not just that, but there's double whammy. The whole point of the scene is, oh no, this smoke, this dust is gonna kill me. I need to run. It hits him. Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Well, where was the risk then? And then literally, you're right. 5 seconds later, he's down there, and literally from the surface to the deeper than the deepest core they've ever excavated, in arguably minutes. Now, I get no one stopped him, But wouldn't you think it was a bit strange that you managed to walk past 50,000 robots and they didn't stop you? And he didn't take the space off at any point. It's a completely balls-to-the-wall bananas edit. Another little broken scene. It doesn't work. It's just bad pacing. Bad pacing.
Yeah. Anyway, he's back, and they're like, "Hey, you survived. We don't have to leave without you now." And he's like, "Wait a minute, what? You guys are going to leave without me? Your chance of return was low. Our desire to leave remained high."
It's fair. I mean, he wasn't doing anything to help the ship anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about these L-cards, man. Oh my god.
There's one in particular.
Cool
I might save that for a video. I might save that for a video. But yeah. And they say, yeah, so we can escape if we don't have shields, but they've got a pilot very successfully. You know, really tattered pilot. Hard cut to. Anyone know where my arm is? I was like, oh god. It's a great little. That's a great little edit. Oh, yeah. and Murph still got the plasma thing in the belly. Oh, didn't notice that.
No, that's his. That's
a hand. Oh, I never noticed that.
Medusan's hand. Yes.
How? How?
You saw him with it a second ago. Before you ate it.
How did he eat it without the guy noticing? Without the Medusa noticing?
The Medusa was showing them about the tracking of the ship and the console.
Oh, did he eat it? What, did he eat it in frame then? What, as part of the
No. It was out of frame.
Oh.
But you see him with it, and then all of a sudden it's inside him. So, General Grievous puts in $2. Dal may not come back. 0. Oh no. Anyway, pretty much.
That's weird. Huh. Okay.
What?
Oh, just one of the clips you sent me was like a 10-minute video, according to Premiere.
What?
So I deleted it and moved on. Okay. Okay.
That was my sizzle reel, but thanks.
Well, it was
asshole.
blank, so yeah, it was a few sizzle reel. Yes. Oh, look at the detail on that creature. Look at that. Look at that. That's great.
Did you notice on the console, you see the star delta, the command delta, or the command star, and it's got a circle in it, and so the actual comm badge is half of that.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I didn't put that 2 and 2 together, but yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, every delta is here.
You get a delta, and you get a delta.
Speaking of, let's have the not engineer fix the most important thing right now.
Well, the most important thing is getting the ship off the ground. So I would send him to do the shields too. What else is he doing? You don't know you're gonna need shields because you haven't been caught yet. So you don't know you're gonna be fired at when you take off necessarily. So
yeah, but you already said earlier in the scene they're tracking us. They're tracking our. So you know they're just gonna find you in a few minutes anyway. Another little.
As far as they know, they're working and doing mining things down here. They don't know that they're on a ship yet. So.
But the guy was upstairs in the surface, and they tracking him still. They know they are.
Mm-hmm.
He's suddenly on the bottom where he was a minute ago. So another plot hole. Don't say you can track them if you then need to be invisible. and what happened to the Tellarites like leg band? Why isn't he being like he's being tracked by that as well? Why is no one noticing that Tellarite man is also below the deep core?
Well, maybe he's doesn't wear one. Maybe he's like workforce. He's not captured workforce. Who knows?
A prison that doesn't put things on the people. Yeah, that's
Jarzia.
Oh dear.
Jarzia throws in $10.
Oh, thank you.
I got some heavy Star Wars vibes from the episode, like Rebels meets Titan AE. Good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah.
But aimed at an even younger audience. Disagree there. The humor didn't land much for me, and it's no Lower Decks, but it's all right. Wow, that's such a shit review from Jarzia.
Yeah,
it's way better than that.
But very Star Wars for sure. Kind of works, but very Star Wars inspired. But it is cool though. He's on the top of the ship. Like it gets less cool the more he does it, but it is cool at the start.
I love he's like, what do I look for? Anything out of the ordinary? Well, it's all fucking out of the ordinary because I've never seen it before.
Yeah. And actually, this is a good view of the inside with more detail as well. It's like boxes. Is that the guy's repair stuff he brought? Because you assume he'd bring stuff. You can't just fix it with your hand.
That's a lot of stuff to bring, though.
Yeah, but he's not being tracked. He can easily get from A to B. We've always seen it. Why wouldn't he be able to just bring a...
Yeah, fill up his loader, maybe.
Yeah. Because he was working on another ship, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, just interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he hasn't carried that that drill. That wasn't the one thing he brought, so he obviously had to bring like all his tools down. So.
Well, Sheaf shows up and he's like, "Oh my God, you were the reason that I escaped." So he's catching on now.
And he doesn't notice the robots just out of camera view that you can't hide because they're not very far away.
I know.
There's a big chasm. But it's like some cool visuals though. But he's so calm. It's like, you know that if she's here, they've caught you, right? you do something.
170 people here, 137 likes. Guys, let's get to 150 likes. It's only 13 more likes. 13 of you haven't hit the like button. We've got 4 new members this live.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if you guys want to join and make it like a record number of new members, just click that join button and see how much. It's quite cheap to do a monthly subscription for the channel. So click the join button now while we're talking and check it out. And if you can join, please do. We've got 3 commanders and 1 captain during this live. So, and welcome to all the new members.
It makes a big difference, and we obviously want to do those justice and give you a lot of good content as we keep going. But I want to just do a new poll briefly because we just bumped into another one. Would you agree there are many plot holes, but it's a kids show, so it's okay, mostly? So just not necessarily judging them for the plot holes. Just would you agree? Yes, many plot holes. So I think it has. The more we talk about it, yes, it's whole.
I never really considered all the lasers like firing up, and he would literally see them because he's looking down on her. Like he's got a view of everything.
Plus, he knows the zone because we know the only way you can get down here is that one, however they got down, and so he would see that because it came down. Like if like you said, if the ceiling came down, then they'd have to crawl out of the ceiling. And if not, if it's a line, it's impossible. You couldn't see it. It's nonsensical.
Jonathan Earl throws in $2.
Thank you.
Murph's a premature changeling, not quite evolved. I would buy that.
I've heard that a few times. I'd be fine with that. Personally.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that too.
Or a changeling that met Yaffid and learned from Yaffid.
And this is where we also find out that. So he led us straight to the Protostar. And she's like, "You knew this ship was here? What do you think your father's been mining for all these years?"
Ooh.
Fancy.
And that felt like a mic drop moment as well.
Yep.
Because contextually, that means this thing ain't brand new. This thing isn't even brand new remotely. This thing is at least 3, right? Like the way he says it, it's not like the last 2 years. So let's go minimum 3, right? Now we're pre-lower decks. Now only a couple of years post Voyager, and I would easily guess more than that based on the context. You know, I'd get at least 5. So this could have been launched right at the end of Voyager. Like, that was interesting. And also, he's not going to find it straight away necessarily. But boy, he was a day away from finding it. So close.
SVS Guru 2000 puts in €5.
Thank you.
Everything has plot holes. CinemaSins based his whole channel on that fact. The question is how much they detract from the story. CinemaSins doesn't necessarily plot holes. I mean, sometimes he does. It's just little nitpicky things.
But
it's not really film criticism. It's just kind of for fun. So
yeah, that is nitpick the channel. Like you watch it for specifically calling out the tiniest of things.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, Lower Decks, right? Very few plot holes. You say that, but Lower Decks very good. Even Picard had a few, but less.
Well, he is right. Everything does have plot holes.
Yes.
Like every show you can see something that just like, but it is what it is.
But they don't normally stand out as being giant plot holes. They're normally like tiny. So this one, and we've watched a lot of Star Trek recently, and this is the first one for a long time. It's been like, oh, these don't connect, but it's okay. Just this one's definitely the worst one for many years. Yes, Karen, we know exactly what year it is. It's 2 years after Lower Decks, so it's 83.
2383. There you go.
Yeah, we know exactly what it is. But it's a good reveal. Now, I have, again, more issues with this scene because it's just nonsensical. So they've captured them, right? away from the ship. They don't think there's any robots inside the ship, because who would do that? And yet the guys on top of the hull, they don't think we should get him down.
Go get him.
Nope, not gonna just ignore that. And then they've got a plan. But they do send the girl in, but no robots, and they don't bring him down. That's illogical.
Wow. Yeah. And then his plan that the Medusan, that Zero can read, it's like, no, I'm ignoring him because it's a stupid plan.
That's a great
plan. Yeah. To take the diviner's daughter as hostage. That's a great plan. And then the guy freaks, just goes off and does it. I guess we're fighting now. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite moments of the episode because it just feels so natural. Like, oh yeah, sure. Although, I don't know if you noticed, but the animation totally changed. When the guy shot his arm, it's totally different animation because you're actually watching 3D. If you look at the dude's face, it's so much more low poly. Because now you're actually doing really... Because most of it's just been pure talking with sexy cinematic. But here it's like super hyper 3D and motion. It's like totally different animation. It's really interesting, actually. And it gets sort of comical. I love punching it that can't do anything. I thought it was really, really funny. Because, yeah, it's not a battle robot. He's just a metal arm. So that was great.
And General Grievous was in $2. Plot twist: Murph is the son of Armus.
Ooh. That's pretty fun.
It's one of these. It's one of the from the Devil Planet.
Yeah.
That silver goo.
Oh no. Oh. Plot twist. It's the Warp 10 babies. It's one of them. Into Mommy. What?
Sebastian. Good God. Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, yes. €2. At Sam, it should be they're okay. Wink.
I think the plot holes. Yeah, they're okay.
There you go.
Okay, I just noticed something else. So there are robots behind them, not in the ship, behind them, and yet when they escape, they run past robots. So why do the robots let them through? They have weapons. They can stop them. We see robots behind them. They've got to run at least 500 yards with lasers that miss, yet they shoot and can't hit. Makes another plot hole. It's
the Star Wars thing, yeah.
It is, but also they also shoot the ship with the lasers. Does no damage of any kind, and yet they say stop firing. Well, there's no damage being done anyway.
Even later, it's like when he transforms as a gun. Don't damage my ship. I know. I'm going to shoot the thing in front of your ship that's going to fall all over your ship
and make it crash.
Still going to damage the ship
into a 10-mile chasm and destroy it.
Yes.
I mean, we are getting, like I said, it starts to break down at a certain point, and we are seeing that this entire and yet the lady's like, look, I've been here for 4 seconds. Oh no, and they just run in, and it's like she would have it takes them at least 2 or 3 minutes to get through the ship to get to the top. So she would be like, what's happening? And it's just pacing really breaks down at a certain point, and the robots should be inside the ship at this point, or damaging it, or Grievous should have jumped on it and just let
Eugene
himself down.
throws in 500 rubles.
Thank you.
Well, I've just watched the episode. It seems weird. If I would describe it as a taste, I would say there are pinches of JJ Trek, JJ RJ Star Wars, Ryan Johnson, but the main ingredient is Star Chaser. This is just the first episode, guys. We weren't on a ship yet. We were escaping. So the Star Wars comparisons are really starting to wear thin with me. Everybody's saying this. I don't know if it'll continue.
I don't think it will. I think that was very
I don't think it will either.
Yeah.
So
they wanted the adventure Star Wars vibe to capture the kids, because kids like Star Wars. That's it. I think seriously. And then once you like all the people, then you'll watch the Star Trek stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
And Eugene throws in another 500 rubles and says, as for Star Trek, it's more like a show was developed as a generic sci-fi story, but then got retrofitted with Star Trek branding kit. Well, as of right now, yes, but we're not sure how it's going to evolve. So it's kind of early to say. Too early to say that, I think.
And I said, Eugene, earlier that I think I know it wasn't, but it could have easily been pitched as a JJ Star Trek show, Kelvin Timeline, and then someone in the production, they said, oh, we'll actually add Janeway and just add the uniform, because everything's JJ styling, vibe, music, blah, blah, and then there's Janeway. So it wasn't, but maybe it was originally pitched, and then they retrofitted it.
And Ozzy throws in $5 and says,
Ooh.
"Long live General Grievous, Snipe." Well, speaking of sniping, that means battle, and here we go with a battle. They try to take her hostage on the bridge, and she's got this transforming arm bracelet thing. Transforms into a sword, and then once the sword gets grabbed, it goes on the arm to the other arm and forms almost like a batleth kind of design weapon.
Yeah.
So very cool. Could be changeling tech, if changelings have tech. Could be a changeling itself. I don't know. Interesting little thing. Really liked it.
Yeah, it's a really good, very nice visual, very nice abstract thing. Looks great. Again, the only problem is that the kid's on the hull. He hasn't tried to get in this entire fight, and the robots aren't trying to get in. Grievous isn't trying to get in. This is a long.
Jeeves.
I did say Jeevis.
You should rename Grievous to Jeevis. I like that.
Hello, Jeevis. But also they're shooting and doesn't. This is doesn't work. But at least they did close the door because they didn't see that.
Good. Aaron throws in $4 with a little pair giving us a cup of coffee. So thank you.
Oh. Love a bit of
and
that.
Welder215 puts in €5. This was my favorite part. I love Dal's programmable matter armband sword.
I just hope it's like a changeling material. I think that's better. Now I also don't understand. They're shooting the ship with very, 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 very weak lasers, right? And you can't miss that ship. It's massive, and yet they destroy the crystalline structures next to it.
Well, crystalline, but by its very nature, is brittle and easy to break generally.
Okay.
So I have no issue with that. I love it. I say, don't damage my ship. Okay, let's shoot everything else around the ship, which will then damage the ship.
Yeah, I don't think they had an organic way of having this thing move, and so they did something inorganic. Because again, the editing is really poor here. It's like, but how did this happen?
And then it's this MacGuffin to shift the ship and have the ship slide down and fall down the crevice.
There's very little logic here. Which also explains, how did the kid hold on for a sliding ship at many miles an hour? And that's not the worst
And then
bit.
later when it launches and flies and is going sideways and the canister even doesn't, and he catches it with his feet, it's like, okay. Even in movies, I say this all the time, my suspension of disbelief only goes so far. And this was just, you wouldn't be able to hold on, first of all, to a rounded edge like that, let alone grab the canister with your feet while it's flying sideways. And no,
because the ship is literally almost right angle.
Yeah.
And so he's literally holding on. He's not. I don't think it's like one-handed. Yeah. It is. No, completely. Although it looks great sliding, like visually, it's a great-looking slide. But yeah,
but that's a trope that we can complain about in many shows and movies. It's just.
Yeah, it's just way worse because he's on the outside, and he is holding, but it's very, very.
Again,
poor.
that's very JJ like though. It's a very JJ thing.
Oh, this would be Kirk. This would be absolute JJ. Oh, because then also literally flies down like. He's fallen. He's dead again. So okay, third death counter.
Yeah. Jarzia puts in $5.
No, fourth death because they're the surface one.
Yes. To clarify, I don't dislike it. Animation and use of canon is good, and Janeway being back is great. Mostly just find the humor childish. I'll keep watching. There was really no humor.
I don't know.
It was all natural humor. Thus, I didn't see anything childish, like no fart jokes or anything. So,
like I wouldn't say it was funny, but it had a couple of jokes. And that's a weird statement.
Had some levity to it, but I wouldn't call it like Orville first episode joke heavy. Yeah. You know, it's not that kind of. It's a no.
And certainly not Lower Decks or anything. No. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Thought it'd be funny.
SVS Guru 2000 puts in £5 or €5. In general, I don't like the introduction of programmable matter in Star Trek. It is objectively worse than having replicators and solid holograms.
Possibly.
But it's a thing. We have it now. We have memory material and stuff that. I don't know. Anyway.
I just don't like God Tech.
Yeah.
But then the ship flies up in a very JJ Star Wars. It's like almost exactly out of Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and then all the droids get pushed exactly like Rise of Skywalker. And he definitely, I mean, this is Grievous to a T. I mean, this is just insane visual similarity.
But beautiful visuals.
Yes.
Some of those shots of the ship are fantastic.
Yeah.
The Ronin, $5. Maybe the Protostar is displaced in time and we are looking at a ship from further from the future. Yes, we've already speculated that as well. We don't know yet.
We'll see. But that's also a big can of worms, because the next computer will have all the details of the future, blah, blah, blah. It just opens up all of the worms. All the cans, anyway. Yeah. Oh, I do love this bit, though. Go, Zero!
Yeah.
Thanks, man!
Yeah, thank you. Go me. No, go!
That's good.
I love how it's like, found the right button. We should probably make a note of it. Yeah, you think?
Yeah. See, that's funny. Oh my god, look at that visual behind with the red smoke. Look at that. And yeah, just literally a Star Wars, like, almost exact frame of Kylo Ren. Like, almost exact same thing.
And General Grievous throws in $5 here and says, her weapon may be like certain tech we already have today that can solidify with an electric charge is introduced to it to take on different shapes. Yeah, that was the memory fabric that I was talking about. So
the only issue with that is that it literally is like it's having its own gravity to stay
and it's
solid.
Liquid. It's like liquid.
So it wouldn't. But look at this! Look at this warp coil shot. Like those exterior warp coils. Wow. So much detail. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then the fucking waterfall. Because they're now exactly where they were.
Yeah.
And they turn and they go through a waterfall right there. He hasn't moved as a character. No one's done the thing.
And another thing.
Yeah.
Get washed off the hull with the waterfall because water is pretty powerful. So that should be another death thing right there, maybe.
And then a slippery hull. Also, why is there flowing water?
I don't know. Why not?
I don't know. But I mean, literally, the entire colony is right here. Everyone's like, "Hey guys, don't try and save us or anything. Good luck." Did you love that? They say early on, "Are we gonna save them all?" Completely ignore that later. But fucking waterfall. Like, it makes no sense. It's really silly. I mean, but like I said, they're one day away from finding it, clearly. But it's obscene.
Oh, there's so much cool stuff on the next display. Oh my god. I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh, is that the... Yeah. Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what was that thing they captured her with? Because you mentioned it earlier. It's like a... Oh, it's like two... Oh, it's rope, isn't it? With two ends they've kind of connected. Huh. Space laser rope, I guess. How did they capture her? I guess she fell hard enough for them to put her on the chair. Yeah, they kind of skipped past it, didn't they, actually?
Well, no, because the ship started moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rock Talk grabbed her and had her in a headlock, and it was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
She was holding on to her, so then after that we see her tied up in the chair.
Okay, so you couldn't fight. Once she was in the lock, she couldn't escape it, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's the tether they were tied together at the ankles with. Ah, didn't get that. Cool.
Yeah, but that got destroyed when they fell through the thing. And they weren't like carrying it around with them.
They had a spare one?
It was cut in half by the rock falling. You actually see like it on the ground.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's not a tether. That's just their normal ankle bracelets. They just happen to have the ability to tether. So that could be his and the rock.
Okay.
That could be their spare ones. But how do they take off their bonus ones? If it's that easy, why didn't they do it before? Plot hole. I mean, there's another. That's a great idea, but it's another plot hole. Because why would they have spare ones?
Yeah. Captain Chili Bean at $2. They have to return to liberate the colony, right? You think so? Yes. At least little Cation girl.
I know.
Save her.
I know.
Because she's cute.
But look at that! Like that bridge shot though. That big open vignette. That's a really like bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that is absolutely a ship where you're meant to look forward. No other bridge is that much. You stand back, and actually I wouldn't be surprised if it's designed to have like an admiral watching at the back. The captain just happens to be the captain who's just telling people what to do. But really, because if you're back here, you can monitor everyone's stations. The captain can't, you know.
Well, it's a test ship, so you're gonna be able to see all the displays to see what's going wrong, and right? Yeah. SVS Guru 2,000, €5. 2 of the shackles they used to bind slaves together. Did I read that one already?
No, but someone else said it or out of the chat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, and yeah, the guy can't fly, but everyone thinks he can. It's funny. And they say he can't
What's
come
your
back.
job?
Oh yeah.
I always thought I was the captain.
It's so sad. But I love they actually don't let him in. They actually close the pod. It's like, oh.
Well, yeah, and then General Grievous shows up and looks very General Grievous-y. And looks like General Grievous and the squid things from the Matrix had a baby. And then it went to Cybertron to be raised by Transformers.
And then his half brother is the alien from Lost in Space, both the new one and the old one, the squid one. I mean, hey, impressive, but by God, have they just stolen stuff?
General Grievous, you look good in Star Trek, I gotta say.
There should be fan art to have him with lightsabers.
I'm sure it'll happen really quick.
Yeah, my God. And the thing is, he doesn't even use this insane extra power to help him very much. You know, like he's now this big rah, but he still just keeps hold of the hull. Like he doesn't do anything else with the stuff. I guess the guns, but that's his hands anyway.
Well, here comes the scene where they have to turn the ship, and he slides off, grabs on with one hand, and then grabs the canister with his feet. And I call total shenanigans and bullshit on that whole thing. Because the ship's moving the whole time.
Yeah. And also, this hull is not designed to be grabbed hold of. You know? Yeah. And Grievous should just be able to keep hold himself. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I mean, also death. Yeah, he's dead here. And this was this was literally this.
Yep.
Like, oh my God.
Anyway, they need shields. They're asking Dahl for the shields. He's like, I'm kind of busy up here. And they find one of the corridors that'll lead them straight to the surface, so they start heading towards that.
Oh, you mean the Star Wars and the reactor core tube?
Yeah. Yeah. Which, if they're not on the surface, where are they? Is this just one huge, gigantic cavern? Because, damn.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what they're implying.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Where's the light coming from?
Well, the crystals.
Like there's a sun down there.
Well, no, well, I mean, you can see there's lava in previous scenes and there's crystals. So I assume just the lava.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a big colony. Although I do quite like the turn and like the BSG zoom in, and it's quite cool. Yeah, very Star Wars scene this as well. Going through an escape tunnel.
Yeah, and General Grievous jumping all around, which is his downfall.
Yeah.
One of the times that he jumps, and then the shields get activated.
It is that easy.
Interesting choice for shields. They're like hexagonal and they're close to the hull, which I have no issue with. It could happen. It's not a shield bubble, but they could have different shield settings, so that's fine. But we've never seen hull or shield impacts that have a hexagonal pattern.
Kind of. We saw something similar in Lower Decks for the internal force field. They actually recently had that. I saw them rewatching. But yeah, it's definitely odd. Although briefly, we see a lot of hull shots. And there's some really interesting texture detail that is like literally texture. You can actually see the pixels of the texture. But they've got a few little elements of the Trek sort of little greeblying, which is kind of nice, but so textured, my God, it's weirdly flat. But yeah, this entire scene, it just falls flat a bit. I mean, it makes Grievous feel so inept if he literally can't just...
Dreadlock.
You said it too.
I know, I just want to... I want to get used to the names, and Dreadlock sounds like Dreadnought, so
it does.
I keep wanting to say Dreadnought, so I have to force myself to say Dreadlock.
Yeah.
Ozzy, though, throws in $5. Maybe the transporter's offline with the torpedoes. Yeah, well, they don't even know about the transporters at this point, so...
And also, this scale shot is very strange, where you see, well, it's the one on the live, where you see the dome, and you see him lying on the hull. How does the angle make sense? Because I don't think it does. If the shield is that flat, that bridge dome is really tall. Does the groove of the hull make sense? I don't know. It's good if you want to see how the outer hull connects to the inner hull, though. That's very useful.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't like how he felt like a bug on the windscreen. It's like, he's our primary villain. The other guy's Emperor Palpatine. He doesn't do anything. Like,
now bug off, and he slides off and hits the...
Yeah.
I like it when he hits the strut, though, and you see the little shield's impact on the strut.
This feels a bit cartoony.
Wow. Well, go figure.
But yeah, we win. That was like...
They let him back in.
And boy, what a hard edit. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm here. It's like, oh, okay. not going to enjoy the in between. Oh, I love he jumps on her, not knowing she's there. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And now they're going up that
see.
way, even though the tube was that way. I don't know.
The SVS Guru 2000, €5. It feels like the ship model was not made for those close-up close-up shots.
Yeah.
There were some really bad pixelated details.
Yeah. Which it wasn't. It wasn't.
And let's just take a moment to appreciate the transforming General Grievous here. Hands into guns. And then the whole, don't destroy it, don't hit my ship. No problem. I'm just gonna hit it. Like, fuck's sakes. I could destroy the ship. That's what he does.
Okay, tell me if you agree. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't.
Like he would rather kill the kid than have the ship. Because clearly that's going to destroy the ship.
Yeah.
I think that's the first indication of he's going to end up like trying to kill the guy. Because
I do like when he shoots the stuff and it's all falling, and you see like from the inside of the bridge, all the like you can see it tracking all the pieces of fallen rubble. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. It didn't feel very Star Trek-y, but
oh god no, yeah. And this particular shot I've got on the screen where the red beam hits, and you see the refraction in the bridge dome, and they just kind of reflect. Just really interesting way it does lighting. But yeah, very Star Wars pipes, very yeah. And obviously we need some pew pew, Stuart. But they know what torpedoes are.
Well, yep, they asked for torpedoes. We don't know. Just get the pew pews going.
Which I like. That's fun. Although then we see a great zoom by, and you get such a great scale shot of the hull of the bridge, and you see like the parallax. That's what we've been missing. Parallax. That's a great little shot.
That's a big word.
Yes. No, they do love just seeing the ship fly from left to right, and it's very effective left to right. Oh yeah, then Murph activates something.
Yeah, Murph activates the phasers. He falls on the console.
Oh, hey! That's actually a torpedo. On the line, there's actually a torpedo casing picture. Well, that's cool. Because later on they don't have a torpedo, so that's, yeah, there we go. So it says, just say phone torpedo, select target, cancel target. Shield 1, shield 2. Torpedo 1.
We're going to have to do a live on these panels, because there's some really cool stuff on these.
Because I noted this...
Not a live, video. We could do video on the panels.
So I noted this other panel where they're clearly pointing at because they these are torpedoes, but they fire phasers. But then, so
it's got everything here: photon torpedo, standard body, because the measurements of it, weight, 247 kilos when not loaded, warhead maximum of 1.5 kilos of antimatter.
But then they fire phasers.
Mid-range shield, 3,500 kilometers.
Yeah, I think there must have been a disconnect between the writers and the producers, because they're showing the torpedoes, but they fire phasers. I'm just saying.
Wow.
At least they're phaser...
It's a weapons console, so...
Yeah. At least they're phaser beams, though, Stuart.
Yeah, and they're not like pulse things.
And they do pop in with the Voyager style oomph.
Yeah.
Except they're in little, slightly recessed camps, which means they can't shoot directly up because they'll blow the hull apart. So the firing arcs, because all they to be would be slightly out in a phaser strip.
Somebody made this argument earlier, and I think it's silly because the ship's super maneuverable. So if you want to fire in a certain direction, just tilt your ship a bit, like as you're firing. So I get it, but it's kind of stupid design for a phaser.
It's a safety hazard. I mean, just what if you haven't got thrusters on? You're dead. I mean, you're dead anyway. But no, I thought that was a weird choice. Like, just have I like their recessed. That's kind of cool, and I'm glad we have a place. But boy, just don't have the lip there. It's a safety hazard to the extreme.
Eugene, 500 rubles. Maybe I'm tired, but I don't feel any pre-Disney Star Wars vibes at all. But a lot of Star Chaser vibes, which is weird, since Star Chaser is the ultimate Star Wars ripoff. This cognitive dissonance frustrates me to no end.
Well, it's a lot of post-Disney Star Wars vibes. Yeah, there's no pre-Disney, but it's a lot of post-Disney vibes.
And Jonathan Earl says, I can't wait to see a full Trekyards breakdown on the USS Protostar. Look at me.
And Eugene says, the phaser are so JJ Trek, especially Kelvin. No, they're okay. A bit red. Wish they were orange, but yeah. Yeah.
And you get the nice sweep of them like leaving. You see the little Haitian girl like, hey, and then they like take off into the stars.
Although it's just all the more sad. Like, I won't come rescue you.
Oh, we will. They'll be back for her. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know. Wait and
They
see.
just need to get away from there for right now. They can't go back this second.
Yeah. But no, they zoom out and done.
Well, she realizes she's in space. Her eyes open up. And she's
Nice wide angle. She looks like a child here, which is a great choice of like childhood wonder.
And I love the whole "Welcome to the crew, Murph," and then Murph just like and then burps. All right then, lay in a course. To where? Didn't know there were so many choices.
And what a bright nebula they happen to be next to. My God.
Yeah. General Grievous, low $2. Protostar is also supposed to have transwarp drive.
I don't think it does.
Well, we'll see. SVS Guru, 2,005 euros. I feel the color and sound of those phasers was wrong.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Voyager, but you know, doesn't need to be necessarily.
Yeah.
I wish they were more close, but.
Anyway, they said at least you had some help, and all of a sudden, looks like I thought the ship was literally losing power, like they'd made a mistake somehow because of the way that everything went. But then Janeway fires up, and did someone ask for help? I am Hologram Janeway, your training advisor for exploring the greater galaxy. Welcome to or what did she say? On behalf of Starfleet, welcome aboard. How can I be of assistance?
Little bit contrived. I can't imagine for a second the keyword would be help.
A little bit simplistic, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a kids' show, so okay, that's really the only answer. But I like the response.
And Richard, sorry, Richard says an Elcar showed transwarp drive. Yes, it did say transwarp drive.
Did it? Oh.
Yep.
Well, I ignored that one apparently. Well, that's annoying.
We need to take a look at those for
Darn
sure.
transwarp. But I love them reacting like, what is that? I've never seen this alien before. Why is she not getting anything on her face? It's so non-colourful. What?
Yeah. And then you think that's the end, but it's not.
Although, look at that exterior. That, I mean, you can't get more scale than that, can you?
Mm.
Yes.
But then we get Dreadnought coming up to the Diviner, and he's like, "Bring me my ship, or get me my ship." Dun 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 dun.
And obviously we have even the bugs being like, "Oh no, I'm gonna stay behind my other daddy because this daddy is real pissy." Yeah, he's coming out of retirement. He's coming out of the goo to come do his thing. Well, it's the one reason he's here, so it makes sense.
He's been drinking the angry juice. He's gonna hit me.
Oh.
General Grievous puts in $2. One of the shots of the console. It says transwarp. Yes. Brian Fuller, $5. Will you all talk about the sneak peek for next week? Not right now.
I mean, we'll save it. You know, it's just a scene from next week. You know, like a trailer's fun because you can have concepts, but it's just about a scene from next week, and then one where we'll do a video. So it's probably. You know.
We'll be talking about it at some point, just not right now. And yes, stay tuned.
Yes. And then it sort of ends. Yeah, the setup has begun. The evil guy has found what else to do, and he's gonna go kill and do bad things. And oof.
Super excited.
Barely an inconvenience? No, close.
Yeah, barely inconvenienced. And then you go, oh really? Wow. Anyway.
Whoa.
Star Trek Prodigy is tight.
Just get off my back and start reviewing, okay? Get all the way off it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna get all the way off my back about that.
Which, to be fair, is a little bit of this episode. Right, guys, now we want to hear. We're gonna give our final thoughts. We want to know your final thoughts. This is a great time to do final super chats. If we can get on 50, you'll be in a great place. That's not a lot if doing your final scores. So super chat Stuart reads, non-super chat I read. Give us a score out of 10 and closing thoughts. Anything else you want to sneak in before we end?
Before we do that, YJ Wrangler says, why doesn't Crave show a trailer for next week? Because no one does. Not even Paramount Plus shows a trailer for next week.
Yep.
It's just on the Ready Room. There's a small clip at the very end.
Yep.
So anyway, do you want to go first?
Sure. I do want to obviously know if your thoughts have changed since we do this full discussion, because we obviously saved all this. Yeah, episode 1, a great start. It's not going to be anyone's like favorite Trek, but that's because Trek is such a high bar. It's also trying to be something different. It is enjoyable. I think it's only going to get more Star Trek as it goes on, which is exciting. I think the characters do a surprisingly good job considering little we knew, so good job them, and that's a lot of the writing and the acting and just the lightheartedness. The exact opposite to Discovery and a lot of those vibes. It still had some of that dramaticness with the dad, etc. Thoroughly Star Wars vibe, very inspired. They obviously, loved that stuff. All the JJ loved that stuff too, but it actually worked as a good hybrid, although, a bit on the nose. They could have been a bit more subtle with their clever references. But hey ho, music, very JJ, very Star Wars. Plot holes, yes, actually more than even I thought. So it's definitely, more than any of the Trek pilots probably at this point, I think. Plot hole wise, but again, it's a kids show, so kids certainly won't notice. How did it get thousands of flaws through an asteroid base without being whatever. But lots of potential, and they have definitely started on a strong foot, if not just shown the weakness of a kids show as well. So we've just got to judge it differently to the real Trek shows because it is not kind of the same standard of storytelling. But okay, okay. But yeah, good job, good first attempt. See what comes next. Yeah.
So before you give your score, 150 people here, 167 likes. Want to get to 180 likes, guys. 180 likes. 13 more. If you guys have not hit like and you just recently joined us, hit it. Also consider joining the channel. We had 4 new members this live. We would like to maybe get 6 new members. Two people. Click that join button. See if you want to. There's a monthly subscription to the channel. It's very cheap, and it helps out immensely, more than you know. So.
And briefly before you go, the poll we said would you agree there are many plot holes, but it's a kid show, so it's okay. 70% yes, 30% no. I think that's a good result there. I don't want to do one more poll, which I think we'll get a high result on. So yes, you can jump in. But guys...
Well, no, you got to give your score still.
Oh, you want to do that? Oh, okay. Well, I'll do the poll first.
Yeah. James McGill, $2. Visually stunning. Character and story intro is acceptable. And Snoopy, I'll read yours after we give our scores. But yes, anybody who wants me to read their super chat score, I will just super chat us a score. I'll read it. All the other ones that are non-super chatted, Commander will read after we've given our final thoughts. He's done his thoughts. We just need his score now.
And I will double back briefly and say yes, visually very, very good. Like a billion paintings. Like technically, it's the nicest looking Trek we've seen. Hell of an achievement. I just hope we see some more original Trek aesthetics and see how they were done in this vibe. See a Voyager bridge. See, that'd be really, really nice. Let me just find another score sheet to base because I don't like how that's turned out. Let me just grab this. So obviously, score is tricky. What Lost and Found, isn't it? Do I go by enjoyment or actual quality of entertainment? Do I go by, I guess just gut reaction of all of that combined? Else there is no all of Prodigy vibe. We can't really do that yet, can we?
Nope.
That'll be a retrospective thing. I think I'm going to be fair. I'm going to give it a 7. Yeah, good. Yeah, it had faults, flaws. It had too much Star Wars, but it was fun, and that's an achievement. So yeah, I think 7's very respectable.
Yeah. All right. So my thoughts are visually stunning. I love the animation style. Like I said, it reminds me of many other things I've seen that I really love, like Star Trek, like Transformers Prime. The characters are a little. There's some that are very Transformery. Transformers, Beast Machines, and Prime influences, and that's fine. You also got the Star Wars feel that everybody's talked about, General Grievous, and the pod race feels and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's good. I really enjoyed the pacing. It was very quick. Like I said, that 46 minutes went by very quickly, and it was definitely enjoyable to watch. We got to know all the characters very well. None of them feel like they were let down or left out, and the setups for them are all really good. Musically, I think the music score is great. Like I said, it's got that JJ like dun 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 dun, dun like building up to it, but you never get the big boom payoff. And it's a little discouraging. It's you don't get the dun dun dun, dun. You don't get that. You get that lead up to it, which I always love. I love hearing that because I know what's coming next, and you never get it. So maybe there will be a moment somewhere in the series where you kind of get that. Because as I've said this many times, the best thing about the JJ movies was the music. So that little tie-in here is fine. I really like the ship designs we've talked about. The L-cars look great. Those are some of my favorite things in Trek. Love the bad guys. The diviner, the actor that they get to play him is a great actor.
Yeah.
And he's been in many things. He plays Sherlock Holmes' dad in Elementary and stuff like that. So, fantastic actor. I love Dreadnought. That's it. I love Dreadnought's character. In fact, these Transformers kind of neat. There's a lot here to like, and it's going to be interesting to find out where it falls on where they are in the universe or the galaxy maps side of things, because we've already seen a lot of Alpha Quadrant races. We got the Kazon in this one, so there's a lot going on, and I think it's a really fun ride so far. The more we learn about Starfleet and stuff moving forward, it'll be interesting. So
I do think episode 2 would be better.
Yeah,
and I think this is very much move to the second episode, you know.
Yeah. So as for score wise, honestly, my first thought was 7 before you said it. But I think I'm gonna go 7.5 just because I've been looking forward to this for a while and didn't disappoint really. There are a few more plot holes now that we've kind of discussed it, but they're very minor, and the way that the pacing moves it along, a lot of people won't really necessarily think about that stuff. So it's not glaring like this is going to cause an issue, you know, so that's fine. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for my score.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I am too. I thought I would score it much higher, but before you gave your score, I was thinking maybe 7.5, because we have the rest of the series to go. So you don't want to set that bar too high, as you always say. So
I thought you were going to say 9.2.
Nah.
Because every time we talk, you say, it's fantastic. I'm like, okay, he's going to be like 9 at least. At least. So, hey, thanks. Which, I mean, you must be, how do you think about me giving it a 7? Surprised?
That's what I expected.
Okay.
Yeah, I expected somewhere around there.
So I don't know if you're going to say...
at all. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though.
Yeah. Well, you know I'm fair, so you know.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to give it a 5 or something.
No.
Obviously, you know, I was waiting to see. So the fact that it impressed me and then reached your expectations, that's a good sign. So both came from very different perspectives.
Let's get the super chat scores out of the way. And if anybody else wants to super chat, please do. There's also four more likes to get to 180 likes would be fantastic. So 4 people hit that like button.
Yeah.
And yeah, another $10 would be beautiful, guys. That last super chat slots there as well.
Yes.
So anyway. Snoopy McQueen, $5. Love it and love the Star Wars and Trek feel. I give it 8 out of 10. One of the best Trek pilots.
Again, not a high bar. That's not a high.
It's not. SVS Guru 2000, €5, 7 out of 10. We'll see how the series turns out overall. Yeah, this retrospective will be interesting going back.
Yeah,
it always is with the new series. So,
yep.
Good Aaron puts in $5. Hey guys, just wanted to say I've always been a fan of your Trek breakdowns. Thank you. Writing, producing pro has been a dream. Can't wait for you to see more.
Oh.
You've been writing and producing Prodigy? Well, welcome, good Aaron.
Right.
Hopefully you enjoyed our review, and welcome. Thank you so much.
And email trekyards@hotmail.com if you want to chat to us. We'd love to chat to you, even just howdly do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did good. It's one of the best pilots. Not the best, but, you know, it's a whole new formula. And we can tell you've got interesting things planned, and there's definitely nice tendrils of interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Thank you for watching. Good tea, nice house, $2. 7.5 out of 10. A solid premiere episode. Free baby Tana. The location, I guess. Eugene, 250 rubles. Blah, 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 out of 10. I don't know what that is, Eugene. Can't give it any more precise score. Maybe it will be good, but I don't think I'll give them any points for, or give them any for points for, for kids. Okay. It's not for kids, though. It's annoying me. Mark Davies, £5. Thanks for all the great Trek coverage, guys. Happy to support the channel. Thank you very much, Mark. Much appreciated.
And we want to keep doing it.
You guys are welcome. 4 more likes. Come on. I want to hit 180 likes. That's easy. 4 people out there haven't hit like, and I know it because I can see you all on this monitor.
Yeah, and we're definitely...
Computers.
And obviously, we're going to treat this like every other Trek show and do all of these in-depth breakdowns with the ships, the tech, the characters. So if you guys want to know all that same knowledge, we're definitely going to try.
Anyway, guys, 3 more likes now. Come on, 3 more likes. 2 more likes now. Woo. And right now, Mark Davies has that last super chat slot. So if anybody wants to scoop it for $1, if you want to do a $1 sniper war right now, go ahead. But yeah, Mark Davies, congratulations on the last super chat slot. We hit 180 likes, which has been great. For this first episode, we're at an hour or 2.5 hours. We did start early.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'll jump back and do the non-super chat scores in a second.
Yes.
I'll just briefly pimp out what we've got coming up this week, because so you guys know what's coming. Yes, we've done a full breakdown of the Kazon shuttle coming tomorrow. Please do check that out. We'd love to get reviews. And then the whole week we're going to break down every character. And ironically, Stuart, somehow we managed to do this. None of the stuff we talked about in those videos made it to this video. I don't know if you remember what we filmed, but they're so different.
I vaguely do.
We had so many different thoughts. It's great. I love that when that happens, because we just do not mean that. Or doesn't mean to happen. Right, non-super chat scores. Let's see what the overall... Or can you think of one more? Well, I said, are you going to watch next week's episodes? 97% yes, 3% no. We're going to end that poll, Stuart, because that's a high number.
I'll try to think of a poll while you're reading.
Yeah, see if you can think of a score-based poll. Right, yeah, so other scores. 6.8, 8, 7, 8, 10, says Play030. 6, 7, 8, 8, 9.5, says Colin. 6, 10, Jonathan Earl. Everything I want in a sci-fi series. Dang. Squadron Course 9. Oh, wow, that's a high score. 9, 10, 8, 7.5, 9, 10, 10, 9. Space Sentinels, yeah. 9, 10, 7.5, 6, said Carlos. 10, the same people keep putting in the score, that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, high scores. High scores indeed.
We got 100% poll. Is Prodigy an animated series? 100% said yes with 19 votes. We did it. We did it. We're never trying it again. We're trying all the time, but we'll never get one. We finally got one. 19 votes is pretty good. There you go.
And my dad says 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's still a good score. Hello, sir.
Easy to work out your name when it's actually your name. Goes by so quick otherwise.
So let's see, another $2 would be great, guys. Let's be fair. $2 super chat for the last super chat slot would be awesome. But thank you so much for tuning out, guys. Glad you enjoy the show. Not only Prodigy, but also our review show. So,
yeah. And I'm definitely doing a sigh of relief, because we're always, with all these shows, it could literally be anything. And we always try and make the best. I mean, go back and watch Discovery reviews, we give it the fair shout, but it was somewhat of a slog sometimes. But just with Season 3 of Discovery and Lower Deck Season 2, and it's okay, where is it going to go? There's a nice sense of, ooh. Let's just hope, it's a satisfying payoff. Or it's just the Packlids again. Prodigy Packlids! Yes! That would be good. Hey, put some Pack... Come on, you've got to... What is the citation maybe said? Put Packlids in it. We make the, Delta Quadrant go. That'd be fun for sure.
All right, guys. We'll call it there.
Yeah. Nice one.
So, Mark Davies, congratulations on the last super chat slot, and thank you everybody that's liked. Thank you to the 4 new members. The people joining the channel is a big deal. So thank you.
Seriously.
That was really a bonus on this live, so we really appreciate that.
And tune in for our sub analyses next week. There's definitely a few things to talk about, so hopefully join us in for those. And yeah, I'm eager for next week.
Me too. I'm super excited.
I mean, based on the teaser, we're definitely getting some Federation love, and see Kate Mulgrew back finally. And I'll be seeing her in 2 weekends, so I get to see her in person. I'll probably get another picture with her 10 years on, which is kind of strange. But yeah.
General Grievous snipes in with $1 because this was his episode.
With his big ass
Oh,
cannons.
and Snoopy McQueen snipes him with $2. Prodigy and Strange New Worlds is the future of Trek. Yes.
I mean, they're cheaper and easier to make than Discovery, Picard, etc. There's definitely some good stuff there. Cool.
All right, guys, we'll call it there. Have a good one. Until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley.
And see you later, guys.
That was a dog.